of our people and their dedication to our customers. Shop Bell Chevrolet and BellChevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We'll keep a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of your Wednesday with high temperatures making it into the low to mid 80s. Really low end chance for a sprinkle later on this afternoon, but we'll have a better chance for showers and storms overnight tonight and into your Thursday morning. Low end risk for severe weather, so make sure you're staying weather aware. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Since 2019, Arkansas casinos have generated more than $60 million for our roads. But if Issue 2 passes, you may need a new suspension. That's because Issue 2 would reduce the number of casinos in Arkansas, meaning fewer tax dollars for our state highways, roads, and bridges, costing us tens of millions in road funding and giving us all a bumpier ride. Issue 2. It's bad for our roads. Protect our roads. Vote no on November 5th.
Paid for by investing in Arkansas.
Stay up to date with the latest Razorback news with the Red White Report every weekday with Justin and DJ on The Zone. Presented by Tiretown Point S in Benton. Make sure your car is game day ready before you head up to the hill with Tiretown Point S.
Hi, I'm David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer, Arkansas's most trusted, highly rated, locally owned, and family-operated heavy and medium-duty diesel repair service. From Fords to Freightliners, specializing in suspensions, transmissions, brakes, DPF systems, and complete engine rebuilds. Tired of paying high dealership prices with long wait times? Let Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer get your truck back on the road where it belongs. Take Exit 7 off of I-440. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
Companies are shifting their telephone systems to the cloud, and you should too. ESI eCloud PBX has everything you need. Features like work from anywhere, video calls, and advanced security tools make ESI eCloud PBX one of the best choices for any business. Opt out of the high cost of your traditional phone system and move to the cloud. Sign up for an online demo at nsgdv.com and get your system activated at no charge.
Network Services Group. One call does it all.
Listen for Champs and Chumps Fridays during The Zone. Brought to you by D.R. Horton, America's #1 home builder. Currently building homes in Maumelle and Alexander. Find them online at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton is an equal housing builder.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wess Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
With my accountant lips, in fact I'm down in this. You say with my boo-babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can bite.
If you look at it, most of those plays with the tight end, they were wide open. You know, it was either, the 4th and 1, pass to Luke, which was wide open. We had a couple of roll passes, naked rolls, waggle rolls where they were open, but Bobby and the offensive staff specifically went to that because we felt like they may be open. Sometimes it doesn't work out like you planned, but no, we know we have Posca. It was really good to see. Luke has really good to see. We've always had good belief in those guys, and they've been one in progressions, several routes for whatever reason, whether it be protection breakdowns or whether it be we didn't get open, but we did on Saturday, and it was really cool to see that the tight ends caught 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, big for the Razorbacks. Tight ends part of the game, and they had a huge impact against Mississippi State. Glad you're with us, Wess Moore, Joe Franklin. It is Hump Day. And we're going to have a good show today. I'm excited about it. Got some good guests. Parrish Alford covers Ole Miss. He's going to join us here in about 25 minutes or so and get the latest on the Rebels and get his thoughts on what he's seen out of Ole Miss this season.
Yeah, and thoughts on the matchup, what he thinks about Arkansas. That'll be good talking to him and kind of gauge what the feeling is for Arkansas and Mississippi.
Need a big step up for the Arkansas defense. They gave up a lot of yards against Mississippi State, and I thought Mississippi State would score some points because their offense has been getting better with their freshman quarterback. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect to see them give up 183 yards rushing and 309 yards passing. That's a lot of yards for a defense, and honestly, they're lucky they only gave up 25 points because of the turnovers, turnovers on downs, and Mississippi State, like a bad team, made some bad plays that cost themselves, and that's what happens with a bad team. Ole Miss isn't a bad team. They probably aren't going to fumble on the 1 yard line. They're probably not going to what they think they score a touchdown and throw the ball in the stands and get a 15-yard penalty and screw up another drive. So you can't count on Ole Miss to do that. You can't count on good teams on doing that. And so that's why I say I want the defense to take a step. Maybe last week was a step back. This week they got to take 2 steps forward and play like they did against Tennessee.
And it's another home game, another opportunity to play against one of the top teams in the conference and prove where you are, where you should be in the conference right now.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. Take a look at the standings. If you haven't taken a look at the SEC standings, it's kind of nice. Arkansas's not at the bottom of the standings. Arkansas is right there in the middle, closer to the top than the middle. And they're surrounded by a bunch of ranked teams. When I looked at the SEC standings, it's A&M on top, and it's ranked team. There's Arkansas right there in the middle of them, and then a ranked team and a ranked team. And you all of a sudden beat this ranked team at home, take care of business. Dude, you're going on up and picking up another SEC win, picking up your 6th win overall. I'm not saying they would be ranked, but they might be. They could be, depending on kind of what happens in that 20 to 25 range if enough teams lose. Ole Miss would be one of them at 19 losing. So there would be that opportunity, and all of a sudden, you're getting a little national respect, a little national love with Texas coming into town. Be a big game. Who knows? So, we look at it and feel good about where they are right now, but they've got a chance to finish this season strong and finish really good. If they take care of business, Joe, against these 2 ranked teams and find a way to win on the road, who knows? I'm not counting out 9 wins. Does it sound crazy? Yes, it does. But this team has shown when they play good, like they did against Tennessee, they can beat a good team at home.
And if they play good, everything will fall into place. You can't worry about who's ranked higher than you right now or where you are as far as feeling like you should be ranked.
Yeah.
You take care of business on the field, and everything will fall into place. So that's what they're striving for, and it's game to game. They can't look ahead. They have to worry about what Ole Miss is going to bring to the table and try to take care of it.
You're exactly right. If they win the next 2 games, that'll take care of itself, and you will be ranked if you beat 2 ranked teams in a row again. What gives me a little encouragement, makes me feel better about this team, is the advancement of Taylon Green. We look back now. 2 out of the last 3 games, he's played outstanding, and his numbers are good. He just made a bad play against LSU, and maybe we should say that LSU linebacker made an outstanding play. Taylon still should have batted the ball down and not try to tip it up to himself. But, Taylon has taken care of the ball for the most part. Tennessee, LSU, Mississippi State. If he can continue to do that during the stretch, these last 4 games, they got an opportunity to win some of these games, no matter who they're playing. I don't care if it's Texas. I don't care if it's on the road against Missouri. I don't care if it's against Ole Miss this weekend. And DJ was just asking me. I was like, I think it's a toss-up game. I know Ole Miss is favored by about 7 on Bet Saracen, but if Arkansas plays to the level that they've played when they played Tennessee, they will have an opportunity to win this game.
They just have to play as a complete team. So if offense shows up, defense definitely has to show up because you got to have that on both sides. And Ole Miss is strong on offense and defense. So Arkansas, they need to play that complete game. You can't just have the defense play a good game and then the offense struggle. So they have to play a complete game.
Yeah, with the ups and downs now of the offense and the defense, what do you feel stronger about? What do you have more faith in right now, the offense or the defense?
I'm still going to go offense. I'll still go with the offense. Defense, we saw a prime example of it last week of giving up so many yards. You give up that many yards to the next few opponents, it could get ugly.
Let's do that as a poll question. What do you have more faith in right now, the Razorback offense or Razorback defense? Because this is back-to-back disappointing efforts. LSU had a lot of yards, scored a lot of points. Look, I know Arkansas gave them 11 points off of turnovers. You know, it wasn't the defense's fault that LSU takes over at the 1 yard line. They gave up a touchdown, and Rashad Dubinion's fumble gave them a short field also. But LSU was still able to move the ball on Arkansas. And then last week, of course, I just gave you the numbers for Mississippi State. They piled up a ton of yards. Arkansas's defense stepped up at times, made some key stops, got 5 turnovers, stopped them on downs twice. So that was outstanding. But I'm starting to feel better, and even though it's just really one game, because we were kind of calling out the offense in Petrino last week because they didn't do they had done a whole lot in SEC play. You know, they weren't putting up a ton of points. They weren't running the ball effectively. And Mississippi State, I just wonder how much that's tainted people's opinion because their defense is so bad and the offense looks so good against Mississippi State. But, look, they didn't move the ball real well against LSU. Well, I take it back. They did move the ball, it seemed like between the 30s against LSU, but they got down in that red zone, close to the red zone, and had to settle for 2 field goals, and just couldn't ever punch in the touchdowns and make LSU pay. But after a dominating performance against Mississippi State, I tend to think, and 2 lackluster efforts from the defense, maybe more people are like you, Joe, and have more faith in the Razorback offense right now. I think I'm on the other side. Even though Mississippi State in that offense, which has, by the way, produced some points and moved the ball against some good opponents the last couple of weeks, I think I have more faith in the defense. I think the defense will do a good job against Ole Miss. I do. I think, how about this? I don't know how wild a prediction it is. Hold on. Let me see how wild. I'll keep it to points only. I won't go with yards because Mississippi State did roll up a ton of yards, and I don't think Ole Miss is going to get more yards than Mississippi State. But I'll go on the record and predict Arkansas's defense will hold Ole Miss to fewer than 25 points.
Ooh, that is a bold prediction. But, yeah, they can't afford to give up that many yards because if they give up that many yards, we know that Ole Miss is the type of team that can capitalize on that, can capitalize on turnovers. Mm-hmm. They're a totally different team from what they just saw with Mississippi State. But for the defense, they have to play a lot better when it comes to this game. They can't put that same performance out on the field that they did this last time. It's you're playing a team that is a lot better than what you just saw.
Yeah, I don't know if Arkansas's offense can score more than – well, here's what the Ole Miss has given up in SEC play. They gave up 20 to Kentucky, 3 to South Carolina, 29 to LSU, and that was in overtime. It was 26 in regulation, and 14 to OU. So I don't know if Arkansas can win a game over Ole Miss. It's, let's say, they give up 28 points. I don't know if Arkansas can score 30 or 31 points against this defense. I think you're going to have to win this game and hold them fewer than 25 points. And maybe you can win this game 27-24. I think ideally you need to hold them right around 20 and try to score 21, 24. Ideally you hold them to 0. But I think the best case scenario for this team, Arkansas needs to score about 20 and win this game 20-17. That's the kind of game I see Arkansas winning against Ole Miss and their defense. And look, their offense is – we talked about it yesterday. Ole Miss's offense has struggled in SEC play. They haven't piled up the points and scored a lot of points in SEC play. So defense, we called you out last week, said you need to create some turnovers. Defense, I'm calling you out this week. You need to win the game for them and keep Ole Miss in the teens.
It still needs to be complete. Offense, they need to show up.
Yeah.
They need to do their part because even though we've seen what they're capable of doing, they've struggled at times.
Yeah, you don't want to be going 3 and out and keeping the defense out there all the time, turning the ball over and putting the defense in a bad position. So, yeah, you're going to need the offense to do their part to help the defense this week.
Defensively, also think that Clint Sternum made a great point when we talked to him in saying that they did get a look at what they're going to see offensively this week in Ole Miss. They got to look at that seeing Mississippi State. So now it's up to the defense to perform better and slow that offense down or, keep them from really getting up there and scoring a lot of points, scoring touchdowns, because they already got to look at it. But because they got to look at it, it can help you prepare better. But that doesn't mean you're going to stop it. You still have to get on the field and do your part there, do the job there.
Yeah, hopefully they fix some of the mistakes that led to the chunk plays for Mississippi State and can fix those problems this week in practice. Woody is in Little Rock. He's our first caller. We'll take some more calls, 661-1037. What's up, Woody?
Hey, I'm actually calling in. I got to eat a little crow because, I know 39er John real well, but I got to call him 49er John after the Cowboys were defeated by his 49ers. So I'm honoring my bet. So for this week, the 49ers are the 49ers instead of the 39ers. And but I had to get that in. I know he's listening, so enjoy it while you can. And I hope that y'all don't win another game this year. And one more thing. Hey, listen, if it wasn't for the Hogs, hey, go Hogs. I hope that we handle our business against Ole Miss. Yeah, it's been hit or miss all season. The Razorbacks, either they'll win and the Cowboys will lose or vice versa. But Cowboys are hurting right now.
Have we had a double yet, Woody? Have you and I had a double Razorback victory and Cowboy victory this year?
I think just the first week. When the Cowboys won the first week, maybe. But I got to go back and look at it. But I will say this: Joe, I left Joe alone. I haven't been bothering Joe, but he knows I usually send him a text every now and then. But we got those Steelers. We took care of business against them. And even my backup team, my Florida State Seminoles. I'm a big time Seminole fan, so I kind of go at Joe on the Steelers, and we go back and forth against the Hurricane and Florida State. So I'm having a not so great year in my football. But go Hogs. And 49er John, he's 49er John this week. I can't call him 39er John, but I honor my bet. So Wes, don't let off of that guy. Give him a hard time every time he calls in.
All right, Woody. I feel your pain.
Good talking to you, Woody.
Okay. All right. Go Cowboys.
Got the Falcons this week. Bounce back, right? I'm not even excited right now. I'm not about the Cowboys.
Got to be a fan.
I'm a fan.
Got to be a fan.
I'm just not excited right now. I need some good news from the Cowboys. How about a trade? See all these other teams making trades. How about a trade? Can we get a defensive tackle? Heck, a wide receiver to help out CD Lamb? A running back?
Got Dalvin Cook in that backfield.
He didn't look bad. He just didn't look great. He didn't do anything. He didn't provide the spark that they needed.
Was that because of him not doing it and the Cowboys not being able to do it, or was that because of 49ers defense?
49ers have a good defense. I can say that without it being painful.
So yeah, it's about matchups. It's about that one game. So let's see what he does against other opponents.
Falcons defense isn't bad.
No, all of these teams are NFL teams, and they all have talent. So, they're not – whenever there are games that are lost and, somebody wants to say, oh, I can't believe that team lost to that one. No, they show up to play every week. They, some of these teams may not have the best record, but they're trying to win when they get on the field.
See, this D3 Texter from the 501 says he has more faith in the offense right now. And then right behind him, Big G from Bryant says, I think the D is the key for the Razorbacks to win. And 501 says, Wes, pretty bold prediction of 25 points, going under 25 points. I don't know how bold it is. I mean, come on. Ole Miss isn't lighting up the scoreboard against SEC teams. I gave it to you. 20 against Kentucky, 17 against Kentucky, 27 against South Carolina, 26 against LSU, 26 against OU. So they're averaging. Their average, by the way, in the SEC is 24, so just hold them to their average. I think they can do that. They don't need, from the 501, the Cowboys don't need someone to catch the ball. They need a quarterback to throw it to them. No, honestly, what they need is to be able to run the ball to take a little pressure off the receivers, Dak, and so that way the defense isn't just backpedaling all the time, knowing there's not a threat to run. Linebackers getting deep. Dalvin had 6 carries, not his fault. Yeah, I knew he didn't. He had more in the first half, it seemed like, than the second half. I'll admit, I spent all day at Pleasant Valley Country Club with free food and free drinks, and then we walked to a friend's house in the neighborhood and continued it. So the game is kind of a fuzzy memory as far as details, but I knew Dalvin Cook didn't have a ton of opportunities. But they didn't run it that much either, period. It just turned into – and McCarthy, from what I did see him talk about yesterday, he felt like the third quarter got away from him. He was trying to spin it and be as optimistic, and that's kind of his message to the locker room. Look, we won the first quarter. We won the second quarter. We won the fourth quarter. We just got killed in the third quarter, 21-0. And in that third quarter, we lost the line of scrimmage. We quit doing what we were doing in the first half, and in the fourth quarter, our defensive line got beat, our offensive line got beat, and that's what led to it. We just got to play 4 full quarters.
Sometimes the game dictates whether you run the ball or pass the ball more. It's about that in-game situation. So sometimes you go in with a plan of everybody wants to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect scenario. But you go into a game with a certain plan, that plan doesn't work out, you have to adjust, and the game dictates how you play. And the team that you're playing against dictates how you play.
I'm sure they would have loved to be able to run it against the 49ers, but when it's not working out, then you kind of have to shift and go and try something else. Their total yards was 292, 236 passing, 56 rushing. They threw it 38 times and had 59 total plays. So that would be 21 rushing attempts. I've got 19. Zeke had 10 carries for 34 yards. Dalvin Cook, 6 carries for 12 yards. It was 2.9 yards per carry. And if you take away Turpin's end around that picked up 11 yards, yeah, their 2.9 yards per carry would have been probably around 2. That's why you abandoned the run, I guess. Part of that is 49ers defense. We don't have to talk. I don't want to talk Cowboys today. We were talking to Arkansas Ole Miss. What happened? How did we get derailed? Wes, didn't Jerry Jones fly south of the border to get a current running back that is not doing much? Who is that? Current running back that's not doing much. Is that Zeke? Did he go down there to get Zeke? I don't know. That's it. No more. No more Cowboys talk, which probably is music to 49er John's ears. I want to talk about the Razorbacks and Ole Miss, and we're going to do that when we come back. Parrish Alford is going to join us. He's a friend of the show, been on numerous times to talk about the Ole Miss Rebels. We'll get his thoughts on this team, get his thoughts on Arkansas in the matchup Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. We are just getting started. It's going to be a fun day. Going to make it a fun day. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Coach Kevin Kelly joins the Zone each Wednesday, presented by the Wooded Rock Athletic Club. The indoor pickleball facility is now open with observation areas, flat screens, and a snack bar.
This is Sports Center.
In the World Series last night, the Yankees forced a Game 5 by winning 11-4. The game started with yet another Freddie Freeman home run, which put the Dodgers up 2. He has a home run in all 4 World Series games so far. He also now holds the record for the most consecutive games with a home run in the World Series at 6 in a row. The Yankees came back and took the lead in the 4th inning after a grand slam by Anthony Volpe. It was 6-4 Yankees entering the 8th, and then New York piled it on, scoring 5 runs in the inning. Game 5 is tonight at 7:08. TV coverage is on Fox. Radio coverage can be heard on The Buzz, joined in progress at 8:30. Prior to that on The Buzz, Sam Pittman Live will start at 7 o'clock, and then Oakland Game Day will be at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
If you're looking for the best pricing on top brand appliances, visit Metro Appliances and More in North Little Rock off Maumelle Boulevard or Chenal Parkway in West Little Rock. Whether you're a builder, contractor, or homeowner, they have everything you need to meet your needs and budget. For 50 years, Metro Appliances and More has been the trusted choice for quality appliances with unbeatable prices. Why wait? Head to Metro Appliances and More today. Get the right price for the right product right now with free local delivery online at metroappliancesandmore.com.
This is Trey Schapp. Tune in each Friday morning at 5:30 right here on The Buzz as I bring you From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. If you like to hear interesting stories about the game of golf, this is for you. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Christy Pettit in Maumelle, Matt Cooper in Russellville, or Madison Buse in England.
Custody, guardianships, adoptions. For any family matter, hire the Lions. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of legal Lions. Exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. Lion Legal, the legal pride of Arkansas. Call 227-ROAR and Lion Legal will come roaring to the rescue.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
There's nothing like fall in Arkansas. Friday night lights, tailgates, sweater weather. Life is there to live. You know it, the Crane team knows it. So when you're looking for the perfect pre-owned vehicle, your Crane team has you covered. 4Runners, Tahoes, F-150s, and more. Shop thousands of pre-owns, all backed by the Crane commitment, including our Love It or Leave It exchange guarantee. Shop from the comfort of your home. Visit us today at craneteam.com.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet, driving, trust every mile.
Flip mode. 9-7. Bust a bus.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. I'm Wes Moore. He's Joe Franklin. We got Arkansas and Ole Miss coming up this weekend. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Rebels and get a feel for this team. Parrish Alford knows these guys inside and out. He joined us now on Out of Bounds, old friend of the show. What's up, Parrish? How are you?
Hey, guys, I'm fine. How are y'all?
Fantastic. Ready for some football. I wish it wasn't hump day. I wish it was Friday, but it is what it is. Let me start with this Ole Miss offense. Has it been a disappointment this year?
I think it has been. Look, the offense should not be so dependent on a wide receiver. Trey Harris is outstanding. He's great. They focused on him a little bit too much when he was healthy. They didn't spread the ball around enough there. But the bottom line is a wide receiver, you're going to get 7 or 8 touches if you're having a great day. And now they kind of found themselves a little bit last week, spread it around a little more in the second half, had some other guys making plays, but got the tight ends involved again. So that was good. But on the whole, they've been inconsistent in SEC play.
What are those inconsistencies that has been going on with Ole Miss?
Well, I would say, number one, running the ball. I mean, they went through their pre-conference schedule, and, their Power 4 was Wake Forest, so they weren't challenged like you knew they would be in the conference. They ran the ball really well then. I think Henry Parrish is a very physical running back when he's healthy. He's not. He's banged up right now. And there's just been drama behind him. Ulysses Bentley hasn't played as much. It was thought that he might even be the starter at the beginning of the year. He was a big play guy for them last year, very fast. He's been sporadic in how he's been used. He's had a couple of runs here or there, most notably against LSU, but they don't have the depth that they usually have at running back. Parrish is hurt, and they haven't been able to generate a lot, from that part of the offense. Now, when they finally started involving the tight ends more last week against Oklahoma, Caden Prescorn is a weapon. We saw that in the Peach Bowl last year, 12 catches, an MVP performance. He's just big and physical. If it gets to him, he doesn't drop it. So it's perplexing why he wasn't utilized more. But with Trey Harris being out, and they just finally started getting it to him a little bit more last week, and he did a lot of good things. Jackson Dart has been good when he's had protection. The offensive line has had some injuries. A lot of people moving in and out there. I thought Dart earlier in the year looked like he wasn't protecting the ball as well as he did last year in 2023. I don't know if he was getting caught up in his media coverage or not, but he just seemed a little more careless with the ball. I think he shored that up a little bit the last couple of weeks, but he's not. I don't think he's playing at the level that he was last year.
What does Ole Miss look like as far as receiver depth? You mentioned that they had an injury there. Usually with a Lane Kiffin offense, they can run it, they can throw it, they can do any and everything they need to do at any time. So with that receivers, with the receiving core, what's the depth look like?
Well, they've got guys who have made plays before. Jordan Watkins, and he had a big catch last week for, looked like a touchdown, was reviewed, and they put him at the 1, so he didn't get the points. But, a nice play on a deep ball there. They've got Caden Lee and some others who can make plays, which is kind of, we were surprised earlier in the year that there was, as good as Trey Harris is, Trey Harris does an excellent job when healthy at contested catches, not just running down the field and tracking the ball, getting behind a secondary and doing that. But he's a guy who he's going to get more than 50% of the 50-50 balls. Okay, and they're really missing that right now. But there was just such a reliance, such a chemistry between Dart and Harris when he was in the game that we weren't seeing these other guys enough. Weren't seeing who could do these things. Not all of them had the resumes that you would expect of success at earlier levels and things like that. But we're just not seeing a lot of depth. I mean, I think it's there. I think if you start utilizing these guys, I think you'll see them rise up and perform. But it's just not. It's not what it once was. It wasn't that long ago that Matt Luke was talking about his 3 NFL receivers that he had in A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, and DeMarcus Lodge. And, even Lodge got in a camp and had a shot, but that kind of depth at receiver just is not there right now.
Parrish Alford with us on Out of Bounds. Parrish, what is Trey Harris's status? I'm sure we'll find out more when the availability report comes out tonight, but what's wrong with him, and do you expect him to play this week?
Yeah, just from what I've heard others report, I don't think he's expected back this week. I think I've heard a possible Achilles situation with him that they're being real careful with. So I'll be surprised if he plays, but I've been surprised before.
What about Ole Miss from a defensive standpoint? What are they looking like so far this year, especially through SEC play?
Well, I think they've been very good, and they were leading the nation in run defense going into that game with Oklahoma last week. And so it was surprising to see Oklahoma rip off some nice gains in the first half. Now, in the second half, Ole Miss really dominated. I think the defensive line, really the front seven, has kind of been their best unit on the team. A lot of that's been the Arkansas transfer, Pooh Paul. I just like saying that name. I mean, I like saying, I like saying Pooh on the radio.
We used to too, Pooh or Parrish, but that's kind of it's a bad word now. You can't say Pooh on the radio anymore.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been good for Ole Miss, but really Walter Nolan on the interior there, the Texas A&M transfer, Princely Umanmielen from Florida. All these guys have really come in and contributed. And it's not just the transfers. The Rebels had some nice players there before with Jared Ivey at an end, J.J. Pegues, and the sophomore really coming on now, Suntarine Perkins. So you mix all those guys together. They've had good chemistry. They've been productive. That's been a good unit for them. Now, Oklahoma had success running the ball in the first half, but not the second. And when it got into a situation where they knew that Jackson Arnold was going to have to pass, they really did a good job of getting pressure on him and ended up with 9 sacks in the game.
Yeah, I look at their defense, and it's really good, especially front seven, tackles for loss, the sacks. To me, you got to be able to throw it, but when you throw it, you risk getting sacked because of that defensive line and the pressure that they bring. What kind of offenses have given Ole Miss a little bit of a problem this year?
Well, offenses with mobility at quarterback, a little bit. Now, last week, Jackson Arnold, as I mentioned, had success with some called runs in the first half. They did a really good job of containing Lenore Sellers at South Carolina. I think he's a really good mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They didn't do a good job of getting pressure on Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. And, that hurt them. They couldn't get to him. They couldn't get him off his spot. LSU's got a great offensive line, probably the best in the conference. But they won that battle. The Rebels couldn't get pressure there, and that cost them the game. They did not play well on offense in that game, didn't finish some drives, didn't take advantage of some opportunities early. But the bottom line is they played defense well enough to win that game, and if they could have disrupted Nussmeier, made a few plays, got him off his spot a little bit, made him uncomfortable, I think they could have won that in spite of some shortcomings on offense there.
Taylor Green is that mobile quarterback that can pose some fits there. What are your thoughts on Arkansas, Taylor Green?
Well, I tell you what, I didn't get to see much of the Mississippi State-Arkansas game, but I saw his numbers, I think 23 for 29. And just watching, some clips from some games earlier, I thought, I think he's gotten better. I didn't think he was as good earlier in the season, and that's what you want to see. You want to see guys getting better. But it looked like he was really accurate against State.
Parrish, what would it take for Arkansas to go back-to-back, do that little Mississippi two-step, beating Mississippi State and then Ole Miss?
Well, I'll tell you what. I just think Fayetteville's a hard place to play for Ole Miss. Back in '96, I started making that Arkansas trip every other year, something with either State or Ole Miss. Some of those games were in Little Rock. I covered a couple of Ole Miss wins in Little Rock, but in all of the games that I've covered with the Mississippi teams traveling to Arkansas through the years, I have seen only one team win in Fayetteville, and that was Ole Miss in 2008 with Houston Nutt. Now, lots of times the Arkansas game in Fayetteville for Ole Miss seems to be just weird, too, like cold and rainy and Bo Wallace getting hurt like early in the game, that kind of thing. You had the, Lane Kiffin's first game there with Matt Corral in 2021. I thought Ole Miss was the better team. They went up and down the field on Arkansas, and every time they did, Corral threw an interception. But they had so much success between the 20s. Even when they got the ball in that game with like a minute or two left, I thought they got a chance to go down and win it, and he threw another pick. So just odd things like that through the years. The most recent visit for Ole Miss was, I guess, in 2022, when the story had just broken about Lane and a conversation with Auburn, and I think that I think that affected the team in that game. I know they fell behind, way behind early in Fayetteville. I don't know, 20-0, something like that. Came back and, lost by a couple of touchdowns. But, it just seems like Ole Miss struggles to play well in Fayetteville, whether Arkansas has a good team that year or not. They just seem to struggle in that environment. And so I'm interested to see what happens Saturday.
When Ole Miss is playing their best during this season, what does that look like? What are they doing to really play a complete game?
Yeah, when they're playing their best, they're ripping off big plays fast on offense. They've got the tempo going, and they're, finding an open guy left and right, and then occasionally on a crosser over the middle, and just kind of, working the run in effectively. I mean, that's what this offense can be. It hasn't been as consistent in SEC play. I thought they were good against South Carolina, against a pretty good defense. They didn't dominate that game offensively. They took advantage of a couple of South Carolina turnovers, one of them a turnover on downs that put them in good position, but that was the stopping the fake punt, gave them the ball at like the 30. The other turnover, they still had to drive like 60 yards. It wasn't like they got a turnover at 10. I thought they did a good job of capitalizing on some things like that, forcing the turnovers with some good defense. I thought that's been their most complete SEC game, and that was on the road in a very difficult environment, a morning game, another early game. I think that might have been 2:30. But, like I said, it's not a team that we've seen bring their best each week. And when they do, they can be really good.
Talking with Parrish Alford. And Parrish, I was looking on your Twitter feed. You've got a new book out.
Got a new book out. I was with the Daily Journal in Tupelo for many years, and left newspaper in 2023. And when I knew that I was going to be joining American Family Association here, I just started writing down whatever I could remember, the things I could think about from 30 years of covering mostly State and Ole Miss here in Mississippi, and just a lot of stories there. And if you have a State or Ole Miss fan within listening distance there, they might be interested in Habitual Deadline. It's at Amazon right now.
Habitual Deadline.
Habitual Deadline. I tell you what, you have to be of a certain age to remember this story. But back right when Jackie Sherrill had been hired at Mississippi State, he came in pushing buttons of Ole Miss right away. And, of course, there was a recruiting story that Billy Brewer took offense to. And during one of the alumni trail talks there in the spring, when I was at the Meridian Star, Billy got off to the side and Stan Torgerson got him going about Jackie Sherrill, the new coach at Mississippi State, and Billy called him a habitual liar. He's just a habitual liar. And that story just kind of took off around the SEC as things could take off before Twitter and things and social media of that nature. It really it got a reprimand of Billy Brewer from then SEC Commissioner Roy Kramer. It became a very interesting story, and it was something that originated from Meridian while I was there as sports editor, and I just kind of recount that story and talk about that a little bit, and that's kind of where the title of the book came from, Habitual Deadline.
I bet not only Ole Miss and Mississippi State fans, but SEC fans would probably enjoy the book.
Yeah.
Parrish, we always appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, guys, have a good day.
Parrish Alford with us on Out of Bounds. When we come back, we'll take some of your phone calls, 661-1037. The Out of Bounds question of the day, what do you have more trust in right now? Razorback offense or Razorback defense? 661-1037. Take some calls. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
We all know how busy our lives can be these days and how important our time and convenience is as well. Edwards Food Giant knows that too. So that's why they're inviting you to take advantage of their Heat and Eat Meal Solutions items in their deli department. Delicious Edwards Food Giant signature dishes, along with a wide choice of entrees and sides, all ready for you to pick up and take home to serve your family tonight. The Heat and Eat Meal Solution is now at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is meatloaf for only $7.49 per pound with roasted red skin potatoes and peppers for $4.99 per pound.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. Southern Bank is a 137-year-old community bank with branches across Arkansas founded on strength and stability. Real community-style banking, local decisions, and friendly staff you know by name, all coupled with competitive deposit and loan rates. From small to large projects, we can handle it all. So what's holding you back? Give us a call at 501-424-0900 or check out our website at bankwithsouthern.com. Learn how you can experience the Southern Bank difference today. Member FDIC.
Enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
Be prepared for dove season by stopping by Max Prairie Wings for all the gear you need, like the Mojo Voodoo Dove Motion Decoy 2-pack on sale for just $49.99. Or maybe the Mojo Dove A Flicker decoys are for you, on sale at $39.99. Or the Ultimate Decoy System, the Lucky Duck Dove Flocker at just $99.99. And what's a hunt without the right ammunition? Winchester Dove Loads at just $79.90 a case, but available in-store only. So don't wait. Stop in today at Max Prairie Wings and get geared up for a hunt you won't forget.
Thanks to Frank Fletcher and the group out there at Fletcher Dodge for hosting Roger and Baz. Also want to thank Taylor Green and Bobby Petrino for coming on the program today, as well as Rick Schaefer and Walt Coleman. The guys are back tomorrow live from the Grove. It's a Thursday edition of Morning Mayhem, 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wess Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
This is #1 champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down. Who the hottest in the world right now? Just touched down in London town. Bet they give me a pound. Tell them put the money in my hand right now. Got a promoter, we need more seats. We just sold out all the floor seats. Take me on a trip.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Wess Moore, Joe Franklin. Talking a little Razorback football. Ole Miss Rebels, Saturday, 11. Our Out of Bounds question of the day. You have more confidence in Arkansas's offense or defense? We have posted that question to Twitter. Right now, 60% say they have more confidence in the offense.
That's gone down because it was a little bit higher percentage there.
See if there's anything on the D3 Auto Sales text line. Nope, just a Cowboys comment. I'm not getting back into the Cowboys. Holding off on that.
Well, it actually it is a higher percentage, so maybe something changed there, but it's almost 67% for offense, 66.7 and 33.3 for defense.
There we go. Got the votes rolling in. You can jump in here now if you want to. See you on Twitter, and I mentioned this on the end of the zone, but I wanted to mention it on our show. Just awful news coming out of Greenwood this morning. I haven't seen the name released anywhere on social media, or I even Googled looking for a news story. So I'm not going to put out the name yet. Maybe next of kin hasn't been notified, or the rest of the family hasn't been notified. But a Greenwood football player died overnight. He and his mother and sister in a house fire. And it's just terrible news for the entire family, the Greenwood community, the football team. Just can't imagine waking up the next day and finding out that one of your teammates' best friends has died in a house fire overnight, and you think you saw him yesterday at practice, and now you got to go back and get ready for a game, and he's not there, never going to be there again. And it just upset me this morning. I drove to Springdale this morning, and dropped my daughter off up there at the state volleyball tournament, and turned around and drove back, and Kyle Sutherland and I talked. Kyle's going to join us at 3:30 today.
Yeah.
And so he was telling me about it, and it just made me sick all the way home. And still, it just for this to happen to anybody, but to the entire family. And apparently, there's a fourth member that's in the hospital right now that was able to survive the fire. But the details are still coming out, and I do not feel comfortable releasing the name of the player or the family right now. So I don't need to break that kind of news. So we'll just let that sit as it is. And all that really we need to do is pray for Greenwood, the team, the family, and all the coaches, the players there. It's just a tragic accident overnight.
Definitely thoughts and prayers to family, team, community, everyone that lost someone.
Well, and, just it shakes the school, but, high school football, because of Greenwood, the stature, and this player. People know. I mean, I was talking to Coach Kelly about it, and it just made him sick too, because he was just talking about Greenwood and how they're one of the teams to beat in 6A. Just one of the best teams in the state, regardless of the classification. And now what this will possibly do to the team, and just they're supposed to play, in 36 hours against Southside. That's kind of a rivalry game with Greenwood and Southside, but now it's a conference game, and somehow they got to rally and play for him and that family Friday night. But it just will send shockwaves throughout the entire state, that's for sure. Also saw on Twitter, switching the news to something much, much, much lighter, the two fans that interfered with Mookie Betts as he was trying to catch the foul ball last night, and they were ejected out of the game. And they even went to some sports bar, and ESPN caught up with them later, and they said, they've joked about it before, but that's our territory, and we're going to fight for that ball, and we're going to do everything we can for the Yankees. And
that's what they were trying to tell the umps, too. They're like, the ball was right here. Well, the player involved, he's still able to make a play on the ball, no matter who that is, and you have to respect that. Now, if it goes deeper into the stands, then that's fair game. That's on you, where you can try to make a fight for the ball. But not only was it that they interfered with him, Mookie Betts actually caught the ball, and then they're grabbing his glove and trying to take the ball out of his glove, and the other guy is grabbing his arm. So it was really over the top. And it's surprising that they just banned those guys for Game 5. Like, I guess, the season is over in that stadium after tonight.
Yeah.
But probably would expect that there's going to be more of a ban going in the next season.
I would not allow them to have those seats anywhere close to the field. If you want to allow them back in, put them up in the upper deck. or just somewhere away from the field to where they can't interfere anymore. That would be my punishment. I think it's it does not surprise me that Major League Baseball is banning them from the game tonight. But if you want to go future and have a more punishment, keep them away from the field. Put them on way back. Coming up in hour number 2, we got the Razor Hog Update brought to you by Bradford ATV and Marine, or Bradford Marine and ATV. We have Ross Burnett coming in, 2:30. Chili fights in the Heights, we'll talk about that. And Kyle Sutherland, like I said, later will join us in hour number 3. See some guys calling in. We're going to take this top of the hour break. We can take some calls later on. Stick around. You are listening to Out of Bounds.
Listen as Clint Sterner joins the buzz for college football talk. Mondays on Out of Bounds and Fridays with The Zone. Brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai.
You work hard, now come play hard during Southland Casino Hotel's $500,000 giveaway. Start earning October 1st and take home free play and mystery prizes, including a big rig on select Saturdays. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Monica Reiners in North Little Rock, Larissa Callie in Bryant, or Chris Allen in Stuttgart.
Game time or playtime, we're here all the time.
I wish you had more time.
103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
In Little Rock, 2 men say they were robbed at gunpoint yesterday when someone took their phone and used the Face ID to clear out their digital wallets. Police say these are the only 2 instances of that kind of armed robbery that they know of, but that it's happened for years in other communities with the popularity of Apple Pay or Cash App growing. Telco Federal Credit Union says the best course of action when your money is stolen is to file a claim with your app and bank. To protect yourself, limit how much your apps can withdraw at once and set up a separate password for transactions. A European company is going global by setting up shop at the Little Rock port. Faymanville Group is based out of Luxembourg and manufactures vehicles and trailers for oversized equipment. Now it's investing more than $100 million in a facility at the port. It is expected to create nearly 500 jobs and boost the local economy. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
103.7 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorbacks basketball. Coverage is brought to you by Gwatney Chevrolet, Malvern National Bank, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, Genesis of Conway, and Chris Crane Hyundai.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We'll keep a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of your Wednesday with high temperatures making it into the low to mid 80s. Really low end chance for a sprinkle later on this afternoon, but we'll have a better chance for showers and storms overnight tonight and into your Thursday morning. Low end risk for severe weather, so make sure you're staying weather aware. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in each week when Susan Irwin Prowl shares her Keys to the Weekend music events calendar with Justin and DJ. Brought to you by Willie D's and Big Red Dog Productions. Big Red Dog Productions is your gateway to music excellence in Central Arkansas and beyond. Visit entertainersguide.com to see the weekly calendar and submit your shows.
Moms worry. It's what we do. But for the last 4 years, I've worried about making ends meet. The cost of groceries and gas are so high. I just don't know how young families can afford diapers or rent. And as kids grow, everything gets more expensive. One thing I know for sure, French Hill is the right choice for Congress. He was a banker. He understands the economy. He gets it. And he will keep fighting for Arkansas families.
I'm French Hill, and I approve this message.
Political ad paid for by French Hill for Arkansas.
Hungry for a winning lunch? Come down to Brewski's for mouth-watering smash burgers.
fresh salads, or a tasty sandwich. Catch all the action on their big screens with unbeatable lunch specials starting at just $10.99. And speedy service will have you back to work in no time. Bring your friends and your appetite and enjoy the delicious lunch options at Brewski's. Now with 2 locations, downtown and North Little Rock. Brewski's, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
The colder temperatures are starting to come back, and what's that mean? Well, if you've got achy joints, everything's going to start to hurt again. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. Are you tired of knee pain, back pain, hip pain, all because of arthritis? Well, what if I told you there was a fix? What if I told you could use your own body's healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain? QC Kinetics can get you there. The protocols developed by QC Kinetics are life-changing that so many people around Central Arkansas are making that free consultation call to find out more about how they can live pain-free. Yes, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up the phone and call 501-222-8440. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. The consultation is absolutely free, so what are you waiting on? Call 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Carlin.
It's clear to me Mike Tomlin right now is the best coach in football. At the moment, I don't think there's any doubt. What I know about Mike Tomlin is that he has taken a quarterback situation that many, including myself, believed was set up to just be an absolute nightmare all year, with one guy in Russell Wilson who has been a polarizing figure in 2 organizations now and has brought him in, had him sit for the first 5-6 games while he was nursing an injury, and earned his trust. He gets an opportunity to go out and play. He's played very well. Meanwhile, on the flip side, you have had Justin Fields play well. Not amazing, but certainly nothing that would ever warrant somebody getting benched. And he has handled it brilliantly, but Mike Tomlin in every way always has the pulse of his football team, and he has made this entire situation work absolutely brilliantly.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wess Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Be humble. Sit down.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Wess Moore, Joe Franklin. I'll get to the Razor Hog update in just a second. One of our listeners on the D3 Auto Sales text line just sent me the story from Northwest Arkansas. This is from 4029 up there. And the names of the deceased of the story I was just telling you out of Greenwood have been released. And it is Isaiah Arrington, a wide receiver for Greenwood, one of their top wide receivers. He and his mother, Wendy Medrano, 46, and his little sister, Vivian Medrano, age 5. Their names have been released, and they were killed in the fire last night. And one other person was seriously hurt. But this story has just been updated, or it's been updated. Earlier, it just said the names hadn't been released until the next of kin had been notified, but they have updated the story from 4029 in Northwest Arkansas. So I appreciate the listener for passing it on, and I wanted to pass that on to everybody else, especially those high school football fans that were familiar with Greenwood and Isaiah. I mean, part of a great run they had last year and off to a great start this year. I was looking down his Twitter feed, Joe, and he had went to camp at UCA. He had just retweeted not too long ago something from Harding, had tweeted out some of his stats for the year, and was just having a great year, and tragically dies in a house fire last night. But I wanted to pass that along since we had that news kind of coming in. Corn Dog joins us now. What's up, Corn Dog?
Hey, what's up, Wes? And I appreciate the heck out of you and your journalism standards of not wanting to release that. That just come up on my notifications, and that's why I sent it. But
I appreciate that.
Tragic. And my condolences. My condolences go out to that. I mean, it's affecting so many other people, not only the football team, but their surviving family and stuff. And it's just a very tragic deal. So definitely send my condolences.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, how about them Steelers, man?
Yeah, they're playing well. They still got a lot of work to do, though, Corn Dog.
They do.
Take it one at a time.
Yeah. Well, and I just wanted to comment real quick on what you were talking about with the whole fan interference deal. I mean, that beats what the guy did in Chicago. What was his name? The guy that got
Steve
roasted
Bartman, yeah.
Yeah, Bartman, yeah. I mean, they were trying to rip that guy's arm off. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't get hurt, to be honest with you. They were going, the glove, the ball, I mean, he was hanging there for a minute there. I'm like, geez. So, yeah, I mean, it's almost like assault, wasn't it?
You know what? You could make a case for it if they wanted to really go after these guys and be kind of ticky-tack. I mean, if they went for assault, I'd be like, come on, but no harm, no foul.
Well,
but then again,
it wouldn't hurt.
Exactly.
But yeah,
to send a message, you could send a message easily, Corn Dog, so the next fan wouldn't try this. I'll be honest with you. I had not seen it until just a minute ago during the top of the hour break. Our TV in here hadn't been on. And anyway, I just saw it for the first time. And the description of everybody talking about it did not do it justice. I mean, first of all, the ball is just right there, barely in the fan. He's got it, and he's down below him, and they're reaching up, prying open the glove, trying to take the ball out of the glove. Another guy's holding his hand, and they're just pulling on him. Yes, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Yes, they need to be banned from tonight, and I agree with what I speculated on. They should never be able to sit right there again. They
agree with you totally.
Their rights for sitting on the field, next to the field, are gone after that. I was thinking in my mind,
somehow, don't they?
I'm thinking in my mind, Mookie Betts is kind of leaning into the stands, and they're reaching over him, and there's a fight for the ball. No, it was nothing like that.
No, they went out and grabbed him and tried to pull him in the stands.
Yeah. It's not the Lambeau leap. We're not trying to help the player get up there. No.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, guys. Y'all have a good show.
Thanks, Corn Dog.
Appreciate it, Corn Dog.
Yeah, those dudes can never sit there again. I'm sorry. Y'all are making a bigger deal out of Mookie Betts, what Mookie did? So dramatic. No, it's not. No, it wasn't. Those dudes held on.
He caught the ball, and the guy is trying to open his glove to pull the ball out. Like, they're not going to see, like, the umps aren't going to see that, first of all. But then Mookie Betts, he's trying to send a message to let the umps know. And, of course, they called it out right away. But if they didn't, they can go review that. Yeah. They can look at it. They can conversate about it. So, it was fan interference, no doubt. And they went over the top because he caught the ball, and they're trying to take the ball out of his glove.
while one's trying to take the ball out of his glove, the other guy's got his wrist, holding his wrist, keeping him from taking his arm away. No, we're not making a bigger deal out of it. You can't grab a player like that. Sorry, disagree with you on that. Let's get back to it. We'll get to the Razor Hog update, brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV. And we'll get back to talking some more Razorbacks and some baseball, and we'll do what's trending later on. I'm so bad at finding stuff. That's why I always do it during the break. Here we go. All right, I'm good now.
It's now time for your Razor Hog update, presented by Bradford Marine and ATV, your Can-Am super headquarters. Bradford Marine and ATV with many statewide locations. Visit BradfordMarine.com, selling fun since 1971.
Have played better. You know, when you run the ball and your play action becomes better and your time to throw the football and to get open becomes better. But I think he's just playing really confident right now. I think Saturday helped him as well. We ran him a little bit more Saturday than what, you know, obviously our plan wasn't against Tennessee. We didn't want to, you know, he wasn't at full strength that game, but I think his confidence is just going up, and we're learning more about what he can do, what he likes to do. But I thought, you know, just when you said that, I thought there was a couple of runs that, you know, he hit, and then I thought his pass to Jordan Anthony was really a really good pass there. And his 4th and 2 that he made, 4th and 2 that he went 45 yards on, but we got the 2 yards. I thought that was an outstanding play as well. But I think he's just playing really confident because of the guys around him. I think are playing even, you know, playing better as well.
You think that pass to Jordan Anthony was his best throw of the year?
That's hard to say it's his best throw of the year. Just because, you know, it happened right then and you get caught up in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some really good ones this year.
Yeah.
On the run against or rolling out against A&M, trying to get away from the pressure and just letting that ball go.
Yeah, that throw to Tesla was on the money, and Tesla's moving across the field, and it was perfect distance, caught it in stride, turns it up the field, scores for a touchdown. Now, the one when he rolled to Isaiah Satania was a little underthrown. Remember, Satania came back for it and was actually interfered, but made the catch and fell into the end zone. He had what was the throw, the one in Razorback Stadium that Satania dropped? That was turned out that was a good throw too, into traffic. But yeah, that's one of his better throws. All right, let's talk about Ole Miss. Here's Coach Pittman talking about Ole Miss.
Play Ole Miss here at home, early morning game. I'm happy we played last week early. It'll prepare us a little bit better for this week. Really good football team. Obviously well coached with Coach Kiffin. Seemed like this year a little bit different. They've always played well on defense, but you're looking at number 1 rush defense in the country and number 1 against points given allowed in the country. Very, very good. Their front is deep, very good. They're very, very good at every position on the D line. Their linebackers are playing well. Pooh Paul's their leading tackler. He's playing extremely well, and they're just really good defensively. And you think about Ole Miss, you think about offense, and then you go over on offense, and they have Jackson Dart, who's really, really good. Trey Harris, who didn't play last week, but we're expecting him to be there this week. And then their running back has 650 plus yards. So just a really, really good football team that's very explosive. And like I said before, their defense is playing extremely well. We're looking forward to, I think the house is going to be packed here on Saturday, and we're excited that the fans are out here supporting us and happy about that.
You know, speaking of that early morning start, JW wrote in on the D3 Auto Sales text line, an 11 a.m. game helps which team? Is there no effect at all with an 11 o'clock start?
Well, the thought is that it helps the road team most of the time, but it's a game. You have to be prepared to play the game when the game is scheduled.
I'll say this, back in the day, like I'm old. Used to be that 11 o'clock game wasn't a good game. It was two bad teams playing. Jefferson Pilot days, the old even the SEC Network game, they would take an 11 o'clock game and just stick two bad teams in there. And when you have two bad teams playing, usually that affects the crowd, right? Well, then you throw in an 11 o'clock game, that affects the crowd even more. So you get to the stadium and it's dead. It's not a great crowd. There's not a buzz about it. Well, now things have changed. Fox started doing this a couple of years ago, getting these marquee good games to start the day off and get good ratings. And what it does, it helps lead into the next game and lead into the next day. So you have a full day, a triple header of good football. And that's what ESPN and ABC, everybody's trying to do now. You're seeing good game. This is a good game. This is a good game. Arkansas Ole Miss being at 11 o'clock isn't like a slap on the wrist. It shouldn't offend you that they're playing at 11 o'clock. Heck, they put Texas-Arkansas at 11 o'clock early on because they knew this was going to be a good game. They thought it would be one of the better games, and so ABC wants to start the day off that way. So I think that changes the way the stadium is because it's a good game. You're going to have a good crowd. You're going to have energy in the stadium. Unlike the old days when it was two bad teams and there was no buzz in the stadium.
And now, as it gets closer to game time, a couple of weeks out, they can adjust those times. But they give you a window at the beginning of the season to say that it could be at these possible times. So, they're trying to have games lined up all day, and just it's not one of those things where it's any kind of slight to anybody.
No.
And the fans shouldn't take offense to 11 o'clock games.
And I don't want to sugarcoat it. Would there be more energy in the stadium at 6 o'clock if it was a night game as opposed to an 11 o'clock? Yeah, I mean that's just the way it is.
Well, it gives you all day to tailgate.
Exactly.
That's what that is. But at the same time, fans need to get out of that mindset. Just like the players have to be ready to play when the game is and when the schedule says, fans have to be ready to go also. If that's something they want to do, that's an event they want to go to, a game they want to go to.
Get there early and get there and tailgate a little bit, have some fun, and be ready to go at 11 o'clock at kickoff. Heck, I was out at Pleasant Valley Sunday early. There were a lot of people out there having fun, getting it going already that early in the morning, so I know that can be done. It's funny we're talking about this because Lane Kiffin, during his press conference Monday, was told, that's when the SEC announced what time the following week's games are, what time they will start, and whoever Ole Miss is playing next. It's Georgia. Yeah, Ole Miss and Georgia is going to kick off at 2:30. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I was hoping for a night game. I was hoping our fans would get to experience a night game this year. But it appears we're going to have all afternoon and all morning starts in Oxford. He's like, let me guess. LSU's hosting a night game that night. They were like, yeah, LSU, Alabama's the night game. He goes, of course. They always get the night game. I don't think it's fair, but it is what it is, and we got to play whenever they tell us to play. But
That's it.
Kiffin was a little upset with it, too, because, all coaches, they would love to have a night game and have that electric environment, and, I think it is better now. I don't think it's going to be dead inside Razorback Stadium at 11 o'clock against Ole Miss. I think it'll be a good environment. And if Arkansas can get off to a good start and give them something to cheer about, it'll be very electric. It'll be fun. Back to the D3 Auto Sales text line. We have Pat Bradley's canceled on us, so this segment's open. We're free for another about 10 minutes. How many beers do you think those guys drank? Talking about the Yankees fans.
It was early in the game. But, they probably got started and pre-gamed a little bit all day.
Well, I don't know how many they had, but they went to some bar and finished it off the night and sat there and watched the game, and that's where ESPN caught up with them.
Oh, well, they were happy at that point.
They
got a win last night, and the series continues on.
They got like a standing ovation. People were high-fiving them as they were escorting them out of the stadium. But that's Yankee fans, too. From the 940, Mookie literally said it wasn't a big deal after the game. It wasn't a big deal because he didn't get hurt or nothing, and he caught the ball, and it was all seen. So in the grand scheme of things, no, it wasn't a big deal. 870 says if they don't ban them, it's going to start happening at every park.
Nah.
I think you do need to send a message that this isn't acceptable. I think most people know that's not acceptable, But there are still some morons out there that don't realize you can't do that. And so that's why you're sending a message. TP in Little Rock said, he's not a Hudson Clark fan, says, I hope I'm wrong, but I've got Ole Miss 38, Arkansas on their average 17. JW asked a question. What do you think Arkansas' strongest point facing Ole Miss, and what is their weakest point? Strongest point is going to be, and it goes hand in hand, JW. Strongest point to me is Andrew Armstrong. And when you look at Ole Miss, their weakness on defense has been their pass defense. They've given up, 230-something yards per game on scoring defense or against the pass. Yeah, 231. They're ranked 9th in the SEC. So I think Andrew Armstrong and company can take advantage of that. But the weakest point to me is going to be Arkansas's offensive line against Ole Miss's front seven. They lead the country in sacks. They lead the country in tackles for a loss. And so to give Taylor Green time to throw to Andrew Armstrong and exploit that secondary, they're going to have to pass protect.
Well, the good thing is you've seen more involved in a receiving game, not only receivers but tight ends. And talking to Parrish Alford, he said that it sounded like he's saying Ole Miss struggles with that, where it's Trey Harris and Trey Harris only a lot during the game, and they're trying to get others involved.
And I think for Arkansas to flip the field, I think Arkansas' strength is the run defense against Ole Miss's run offense. They haven't been very effective running the ball this year, and Arkansas's done a good job of stopping the run. So I think that would be the strength. And maybe with Trey Harris out, that helps Arkansas's pass defense some.
Well, if he's out, they have no choice but to find somebody else and get them involved.
501 says, I'm not so sure the Ole Miss game will be packed this weekend, as a lot of families will be at the youth hunt weekend.
Yeah, there's always something for hunting season.
Other than LSU, do you think Arkansas will be the best team Ole Miss has played thus far? Yes. In the SEC, they play Kentucky, South Carolina, and OU. So, yes, I would put Arkansas above Kentucky, South Carolina, and OU in my rankings in the SEC.
South Carolina was a tough game and has been a tough game for a lot of opponents, especially if they're playing at South Carolina.
This caller makes a good point from the 870. The 11 o'clock kickoffs have been a desirable time in the North for a long time now. They don't necessarily like those night games when the sun goes down. It's a little warmer in the North when it's in the daytime. Think we will ever do something like Mizzou did for the 11 o'clock game? Start happy hour in the stadium, 9:30 to 10:30, $2.99 beers. That would bring more people into the stadium early. That's from Colin. I didn't know Ole Miss did that. That's the first time I've heard that. I think it's a great idea. Come on, we got a special on beers for the first hour before the game starts. Come on in, watch the team warm up, have a couple of drinks. Let's get ready for the game. 3 lost teams, only 8 games into the season, don't get night games. I don't know. Take a look at the schedule. I bet they do. I bet there are plenty of 5-3 teams playing this weekend at night. I can pull it up for you, but
once again, they give a window on these games.
Yeah, this was we already knew it was going to be an 11 o'clock game, an early time slot. We knew this weeks ago. Just like, we knew the Texas game was going to be 11 o'clock. Now, that Texas game was a little different because ABC wanted that, and they chose that one early. And even the night games they're already slotted. It's either going to be a 6 or 6:30 start for some of the night games. I'm going to go to the I'm not going top 25, just all Power 5. I'll go to the night games. 6 o'clock. Oklahoma State's playing at home at 6 o'clock this weekend. Oklahoma State's 3-5. South Carolina's 4-3. They're playing at 6:30. Louisville's 5-3. They're playing at 6:30. Wisconsin and Iowa are both 5-3. They're playing on NBC at 6:30. USC and Washington are 4-4. They're playing at 6:30. Kentucky is 3-5. They're playing at 6:45. TCU 5-3, Baylor 4-4. They're playing at 7. So no, your theory doesn't hold water. All right, we got to make way. Is our guest here? Have you seen our guest?
Ross it's phone. He'll be on the phone.
Oh, he's calling on the phone. Ross Burnett's calling in. We're going to talk about chili fights in the Heights. That's coming up. Getting the move for some chili. We need some cooler weather, though. They're talking about cornbread on the zone, and we're talking about chili on Out of Bounds. We'll do that when we come back. We'll take some calls later on this hour. We got Kyle Sutherland at 3:30. What's trending? We still got a lot to do. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
This is Sports Center.
In the World Series last night, the Yankees forced a Game 5 by winning 11-4. The game started with yet another Freddie Freeman home run, which put the Dodgers up 2. He has a home run in all 4 World Series games so far. He also now holds the record for the most consecutive games with a home run in the World Series at 6 in a row. The Yankees came back and took the lead in the 4th inning after a grand slam by Anthony Volpe. It was 6-4 Yankees entering the 8th, and then New York piled it on, scoring 5 runs in the inning. Game 5 is tonight at 7:08. TV coverage is on Fox. Radio coverage can be heard on The Buzz, joined in progress at 8:30. Prior to that on The Buzz, Sam Pittman Live will start at 7 o'clock, and then Oakland Game Day will be at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Darren McFadden is back for another season of college football with the guys from Morning Mayhem. D-Mac is known as the best running back in Razorback history. Darren McFadden is presented by Fortify Building Solutions. Need a new metal roof, wall, or building products? Go see our friends at Fortify Building Solutions in Benton or at fortifybuildingsolutions.com.
Every day, we do one thing, and we do it at the highest level. We formed Arkansas Urology more than 25 years ago, and ever since, our world-class team has gained experience and expertise in every aspect of urology. Today, you'll find our state-of-the-art facilities across Arkansas, where the latest technologies are used in innovative ways by skilled specialists who are dedicated to one thing, improving lives every day. Schedule your appointment at arkansasurology.com.
At MNB, our reputation speaks for itself. We won't just tell you that we're the best, we'll prove it with our products, services, and commitment to the communities we serve. Technology is constantly changing, and there are more options than ever right at your fingertips. We'll always offer you the latest in technology, and we'll serve it up with great customer service. So when you bank with us, you know you're covered. You keep moving forward. At MNB, we've got your back. Check us out at mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Car wreck? Call Rainwater Holt in Sexton.
888-8888.
8 for a fast response. 8 for results. 8 for Arkansas.
Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
The colder temperatures are starting to come back, and what's that mean? Well, if you've got achy joints, everything's going to start to hurt again. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. Are you tired of knee pain, back pain, hip pain, all because of arthritis? Well, what if I told you there was a fix? What if I told you you could use your own body's healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain? QC Kinetics can get you there. The protocols developed by QC Kinetics are life-changing that so many people around Central Arkansas are making that free consultation call to find out more about how they can live pain-free. Yes, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up the phone and call 501-222-8440. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. The consultation is absolutely free, so what are you waiting on? Call 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
Sanders Ground Essentials presents Melinda Mayo when she joins Morning Mayhem each Thursday morning. Sanders Ground Essentials, where great lawns start today. On the web at sandersground.com. It's Melinda Mayo each Thursday with Morning Mayhem on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Hey, Monster on the beat, Debo, any rap. He a free throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him free, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni? Trying to see Compton, the industry can hate me. From Marlon, they mama, how many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton.
Well, welcome back. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. Let's talk Chili. Chili Fights in the Heights coming your way a week from Saturday. Ross Burnett joins us on Out of Bounds. Ross, what's up? How are you?
Hey, guys. Man, I'm doing great. Ready to win competition chili and make sure everybody has a good time.
We all know weather means a lot when you're hosting an event. Would you rather have a weekend like, we've had 75, 80 degrees, or for Chili Fights in the Heights, would you like kind of like 58, 59 degrees? Would that be more ideal weather?
Now, who do I need to bribe to get that kind of weather?
Probably
that would be perfect.
Go to church. I kind of agree. We were talking. They were talking cornbread on the zone, and we were talking chili with you. And I'm like, I love cornbread. I love chili. I just haven't been able to do it yet. I need colder weather.
So do you put those together?
Oh yeah, and I'll do some cornbread, do some crackers. I like to just fix my chili up really well.
Ross, do you have a preference there? Would you like to add to it?
So last year we talked about this on there, and I'm big jalapeno cheddar cornbread, and I actually crisp up some prosciutto.
Ooh.
And then put the crispy prosciutto in my cornbread batter with some fire roasted corn in there, and then of course you got to mix that up with the chili.
Mm-hmm. Little sour cream? Do you do a little sour cream?
I love some sour cream.
Yeah.
Got to. Especially, I've got a chili paste, a 9-pepper chili paste with some arbol peppers in there. That's where the kick comes from. You got to have some sour cream to lighten it up a little bit.
What year is this for Chili Fights in the Heights?
So we started in 2010. Charlie Porter, who actually just I was able to initiate him into Rotary Club 99 this week. He started it. Used to be a part of Harvest Fest, and then they branched off. Him and his brother branched off, and then the Hat Club adopted it to help benefit one of their organizations, the Arkansas Food Bank. Couple years after that, so it'd be the 14th year here for Chili Fights in the Heights.
Talking with Ross Burnett, and I've got the 10-day forecast up, and of course it doesn't include Saturday, but next Friday, a week from Friday, it's a high of 64 and a low of 47. So we're getting there. We're getting closer to chilly weather when you got lows in the 40s.
Oh, that's perfect. Any rain on that forecast?
Not for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
2.5 years.
Well,
okay, good.
Let's hope we're ending that trend. And tomorrow we can look at that 10-day, and maybe they'll have something for Saturday. But still, that's so far away, I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah. No. Well, it's Arkansas weather. Anything can happen a few days out.
Yeah. As far as the event, where exactly does it take place, and what can people expect?
It's going to be up on Kavanaugh in the Heights, so you can't miss it. We're going to have a couple blocks blocked off right up there by the post office, kind of by Heights Taco and Tamale, George's, right around Prospect Bar, sports bar there. It'll start at 11, so this is going to be November 9th, Saturday, November 9th. You can go in the morning and still make the Arkansas basketball game against the Baylor Bears down in Dallas. And so that's what a lot of people are going to do, catch it in the morning. It starts at 11. And, man, we're going to have a good family-friendly environment. We're doing some things different this year. We're adding a couple of bands. So we're having Bree Ogden and DJ Ronnie come in to play for us. Big Papa Bubble. If you've never seen Big Papa Bubble, he was at Harvest Fest this year, and he was a hit. All the kids loved him, and the adults too. We're going to have a short-legged petting zoo from Little Rock Zoo. They're coming out, and we're going to be able to have the kids pet these little donkeys and whatever else short-legged petting zoo is, probably some baby llamas in there. and then really the chili fight starts, the fighting part, so to speak, starts at 2:00. That's when all the chili will be ready. So we require everyone make chili on site. That way we can make sure that they're not buying it from somewhere. It's not in a pressure cooker or something like that off site. We've got to have eyes on it so the judges can be sure that everything is fair. So we're going to have Wright's Barbecue come out, and Logan Wright's a good friend of mine, and we're basically partnering with them to have them feed our folks in the morning who come out early in 11 o'clock, and they're going to take good care of us. We've got a couple other food trucks potentially, but definitely Wright's. He did want me to mention, because he's helping me out, they're opening their upstairs here soon, so they're going to be able to have party rooms and whatnot up there, which would be a good addition. Tasting kits. So how do you judge who wins? So we've got 6 or 7 judges from all over the place that are coming in town for judging the contest, and then there's going to be a People's Choice. So you can buy a tasting kit for $10, and you can go around and taste every single pot of chili that's there. We'll probably have about 30 different chilies there. If you're interested in seeing if you can win, if you have what it takes to be the champion this year, you can enter as a neighborhood attendee. So that's $250 for a team. A lot of times people bring their guys out, their family out, their business out. You can do it for a business. That's $450. But remember, Joe, all the money that we raise from this, every dime goes directly to the Arkansas Food Bank. So their economy of scale provides thousands of meals for children statewide, and we're coming up on the holidays with Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's incredible how many kids go hungry on a regular basis. We're one of the worst states in the country when it comes to food shortages, and so this is a cause that's close to our hearts because we can have a direct impact, and so can you, by coming out to Chili Fights in the Heights November 9th.
Yeah, benefiting great cause in Arkansas Food Bank. For teams, is there a cutoff date for teams to enter?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure we can accommodate teams up until the day before. So that Friday, whenever I'll be back on there, I'll be promoting it again, and there'll still be time that Friday the 8th for folks to sign up.
Got Ross Barnett with us. We're talking about Chili Fights in the Heights. And Ross, you guys have done a great job raising money for the Arkansas Food Bank in the past. What are you hoping to do this year?
Our goal this year is $30,000.
Nice.
And so last year, even with rain, we raised $20,000. We really focused on putting all of our heads together here. It's presented by the Hat Club, and all of our volunteers, all of our members like to donate, and we take the money. And even though it kind of got rained out there, everyone has a good time last year. Had a good time last year. So $30,000 is our goal. We're actually in the midst of expanding it. And so next year, we'd love to have a VIP area. We may do that this year. We're still kind of in the works of putting that together. And then also, we are offering spaces for vendors. So at no cost. There's an optional donation there. We recommend 10% of sales, but we're looking for 10, 15 vendors to line the streets with us on November 9th. At no required cost to set up. I would just say to email me and let me know your interest. Murder Farm Hot Sauce is going to be there. We've got somebody selling candy pecans. We've got a few others that have shown interest, and so we just want to open it to the public. And if there's a good vendor out there, maybe you're at Harvest Fest, maybe you're at another festival, or maybe you're just getting set up and you want an opportunity to have a low entry cost to sell your product, maybe help afford some groceries here as times get colder. Just email me at Ross, that's ROSS, .Burnett, BURNETT, @ML.com. Again, that's Ross.Burnett, www.mlburnett@ml.com. And I'll be happy to get you on the list and gauge your interest and answer any questions that I can.
What's the best way for teams to get registered?
I would go to, I've got the direct site here written down. It would be hatclublr.com. That's hatclublr.com. And there's going to be a pretty general page whenever you go on there. But Chili Fights in the Heights is on the front page. Just go to Learn More, and then you can go scroll down and do a neighborhood team or a corporate team, and you can click there to register.
You can also join Hat Club. How do you go about doing that?
You can shoot me an email as well. We'd love to have new members. We do a membership event, basically orientation event once a year. So you can email me as well if you're interested in joining Hat Club to be able to volunteer in this and participate. We host 4 events a year. We do a golf tournament. We do a crawfish boil. We do the Chili Fights in the Heights. And then we've got one more I'm blanking on, but that's okay. So you can email me as well at ross.burnett@ml.com if you're interested in joining the Hat Club. Low cost to enter. I'll be sure and email you the details if you are interested on cost to join and send you an application. All those things there. That gets updated every year, and we'd love to have you.
Ross, can't wait. We'll talk to you next Friday. I appreciate you coming on today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me, and look forward to seeing you next Friday.
Later. Ross Burnett joining us. Chili Fights in the Heights. A week from Saturday. It's November 9th. Arkansas is off that day, football-wise. Basketball team plays later on. Perfect day to have it. And looks like, fingers crossed, we're going to have some nice chili-eating weather that day. We will take a break. When we come back, we can take some phone calls. Got a lot of stuff on the D3 Auto Sales text line. We'll hit that up. Busy day. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Join Roger Scott for game day watch parties at Boudreaux's Grill and Bar, 9811 Maumelle Boulevard in North Little Rock, and cheer on our team. The fun is at Boudreaux's, your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Moms worry. It's what we do. But for the last 4 years, I've worried about making ends meet. The cost of groceries and gas are so high. I just don't know how young families can afford diapers or rent. And as kids grow, everything gets more expensive. One thing I know for sure, French Hill is the right choice for Congress. He was a banker. He understands the economy. He gets it. And he will keep fighting for Arkansas families.
I'm French Hill, and I approve this message.
Political ad paid for by French Hill for Arkansas.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Democracy assumes that majority opinion determines what is right. But Henrik Ibsen states, the majority never has right on its side. Never, I say. That is one of the social lies that a free-thinking man is bound to rebel against. Who makes up the majority in any country? Is it the wise men or the fools? I think we must agree that the fools are in a terrible, overwhelming majority all the wide world over. Make up your mind to always do the right thing, which is usually not the popular thing. Double B's is the right thing and the popular thing. With 34 locations, we have hot, fresh food, delicious snacky treats, and drinks for days. Make a quick pit stop now, because Double B's is where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right,
See shelter agent Matt Steele in Bryant, Todd Matthews in Benton, or Justin Stewart in Malvern today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates are used to patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my name as your promo code, Clay.
Brooke here, live from the sports desk. Our number one play comes from the number one Hyundai dealer in Arkansas. Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway, coming in hot with another huge score. Inventory selection to fit any budget. Boom! Look how they say yes. Game-changing action from the winning team at Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway.
Win big with 1.99% financing. New Tucsons and Elantras at Chris Crane Hyundai in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Arkansas golf legend John Daly joins the mayhem each week, brought to you by Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today, and by Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer, family owned and operated diesel and truck repair you can trust.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
All right, here we go. It's Out of Bounds. Wrapping up the second hour. We got what's trending coming up. Kyle Sutherland talking high school football. Finish this hour up with your calls. D3 Auto Sales text line. Brian in Hot Springs says, Lakeside Parkview Halloween night. Thoughts? First of all, I love Thursday night football, high school football. I think it's great. Got Catholic playing Friday night at War Memorial Stadium, and so that means Parkview will play Thursday night. It's a great matchup. Lakeside undefeated, 2 teams tied for first place in the 5A South. Parkview, we all know, outstanding, 2-time state champs. One of the best teams in the state, regardless of the classification. They got 11 FBS players on their team that have been offered scholarships or have committed. They're loaded. And Lakeside's playing good. Love what they're doing. Coach Rock at Lakeside. I think Parkview's just on a different level for 5A teams. You know, I don't have a problem with the way they move the private schools up, you know, the point system. But I think they should do it with public schools too. When you dominate a certain classification, you should move up, and that team that's at the bottom struggling moves down. I don't care what classification it is. You start dominating, move them up. If it's good enough for the private schools, it's good enough for the public schools. And that's how good Parkview is. I tell them that. I mean, they're awesome. Let's go. Hey, Wes, when are you going to talk about the Greenwood tragedy? We did. Just if you haven't joined, if you're just joining us now, just a terrible, terrible news out of Greenwood. One of their star wide receivers, Isaiah Arrington, was killed in a house fire last night along with his mother and his little sister. One person did survive, and they're in the hospital, but just terrible news to wake up to this morning in Greenwood. I told everybody earlier, but I didn't want to give out the names because I hadn't seen it released yet and just wanted to wait. You know, I had a news director say, you know, in the news business, you know, you got to balance the need to know and the need to tell with what the damage it could cause. And in this case, if the names hadn't been released and someone who hasn't found out yet finds out over the radio and said the right way, I just didn't want to be that person. So our need to know, the need to tell you was not as great as the damage that could occur. So I was holding off until we saw that the names had been released. But we did it at the top of the second hour. You just must have missed it.
That's the proper way to go about it. You don't have to be first to put the info out there.
I don't know. No. 501 says, Wes, Joe, are you surprised about the quarterback that took a play off because he said he was tired? I am blown away. I don't remember that happening in the past.
No, it's a unique deal, and Anthony Richardson, he's paying the price for that right now, where he's having to take a step back, and Colts drafted him to be their franchise quarterback, but they're gonna let him sit back and maybe take some things in and learn from a veteran in Joe Flacco, who has played well at times that he's been on the field. And even there's something about Shane Steichen. He has a quarterback-friendly system also, because if you go back to last year, Anthony Richardson, he was out for the season. Gardner Minshew goes in and he plays well. So it'll be a great opportunity for Anthony Richardson to learn, and as Shane Steichen said, it'll be a growth opportunity.
You know, I told you I drove to Bentonville this morning and back. So I was in the car a long time listening to sports radio, and I heard Chris Sims, and I thought he made a great point. It's just a bad message for your so-called franchise quarterback to be taking a play off. What's that telling his offensive line? You don't think his offensive linemen are tired? You don't think, the play before when you hand it off, you get to rest. They were blocking on that play. That play where you took off scrambling, they were also running around trying to make blocks for you. They ran all the way down the field. You don't think they're tired and would like to come out of the game?
Well, something he could have done differently is just relayed to the coaches that he was winded at that point, and let's run the ball. Let's have a running play, hand off to the running back, or maybe a quick pass or something that you're getting the ball out of your hands quickly, whether it's handing it off, tossing it, or just a quick pass to help you get back and almost like taking a play off there.
You're the quarterback. Get to the line of scrimmage and audible. No, we're going to run the ball. I'm handing this thing off. I'm sucking air. 501 says, are you kidding me? The night games, watching the balls of the fall in Northwest Arkansas is perfect snuggling weather with your girl. You can snuggle in the daytime. JW, Harris was out for Ole Miss last week, and they had 6 players with 25 yards or more catches against that Oklahoma defense. Yeah, that's what Parrish Alford told us, that they did a much better job or he thought Jackson Dart did a much better job of spreading the ball around and finding other receivers with Harris out. He thought maybe when Harris is in there, he focuses in too much on him all the time. Look, the dude's a great wide receiver. Are you saying you'd rather have Harris play? I wouldn't. I mean, one of their best players, take him out. I don't think that's probably a good thing. Wes, what are your thoughts on K.J. Jefferson getting demoted to third-string quarterback? I don't have any. He doesn't play for Arkansas anymore and didn't work out. I don't care, honestly. Longtime Cubs fan. Colts fan. Sorry, longtime Colts fan. That's sad. And we don't need a quarterback like that. Don't give up on him for making the mistake. You know what? He's still young. He's learning. I mean, this is a guy, I always thought he was a project anyway, but he didn't play much at Florida, didn't play much last year. I mean, add up the total game. I would like to know, how many total games has Richardson started in his career, college and NFL?
Well, the thing that, it hasn't been many, but the thing that blows you away about him is the athleticism, the big arm. He's not the most accurate quarterback, and that's something that they're going to try to work on with him. But he has all the ability in the world. He can out, as big as he is, if he gets in open space, he can outrun anybody. And the big arm, he can throw the ball 70 yards downfield. It's just about putting it all together for him. And they drafted him to be that franchise quarterback for a reason.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Don't give up on him just because he took himself out of the game. He's young. He's still learning. He's learning what it takes to be a starting quarterback and to be a leader, for that matter. I think, I hope 10 years from now, he's a successful NFL quarterback and he can look back and say, Guys, that was dumb. I was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I think we're good. 501 says, Wes, The Boys of the Fall is a country song about football in the South. Oh, sorry. Like I said, I just spent 6 hours in the car driving back and forth from Bentonville this morning. Did not listen to one song. I listened to 6 straight hours of talk radio. Take it back. My daughter was awake for a little bit and we sat and talked. So
she didn't want to hear songs? Or did she listen to her own? 'Cause that's usually what they do.
You know, we had a good talk. And then she said she wanted to take a nap, and she put in her earbuds, and I saw her pulling some music, and she slept for about an hour, and then she got back up, and I pulled over, filled up with gas. We had a little McDonald's and talked some more until we got there. So it was a good trip. It was a long trip. Not what I was wanting to do today, but you know what? It's what being a dad, a parent is about sometimes. You just got to do things. You got to suck it up and do it.
Absolutely.
And I'm okay. Didn't ruin my day, and it made her day. So I'm happy. All right, when we come back, we've got what's trending. Kyle Sutherland will join us in the next hour, and we'll get ready for Drive Time Sports. 2 down, 1 to go. It's going to be a good one. I hope you can stick around with us for a little bit. Sorry, 49er John. I've only got 17 seconds. Although some would say that'd be perfect. Take his call right now and give him 10 seconds and say we got to go. But I'm nicer than that. We'll take a break. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Proudly serving Little Rock and the surrounding areas, All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros is your trusted one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. From auto repair to buying tires, our experienced technicians and tire experts will provide personalized care and expert advice to help keep you and your family safe on the road. Any car, any job, our goal is to make your experience quick and easy. Visit us today in Little Rock or Mapleville or online at allabouttireandbrake.com. Tire Pros. Love the drive.
This afternoon, Randy takes Drive Time Sports to Searcy, broadcasting live from 4 to 7 at Double B's on BB Caps. It's your last chance to register to win a 2024 Honda 4Trax Foreman 4x4. Stop by, say hi to Randy, and get your name in the box.
This is Chuck Barrett, inviting you to listen to me call the Hogs on 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
The Razorbacks are coming at you.
Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
In Little Rock, 2 men say they were robbed at gunpoint yesterday when someone took their phone and used the Face ID to clear out their digital wallets. Police say these are the only 2 instances of that kind of armed robbery that they know of, but that it's happened for years in other communities with the popularity of Apple Pay or Cash App growing. Telco Federal Credit Union says the best course of action when your money is stolen is to file a claim with your app and bank. To protect yourself, limit how much your apps can withdraw at once and set up a separate password for transactions. A European company is going global by setting up shop at the Little Rock Port. Faymanville Group is based out of Luxembourg and manufactures vehicles and trailers for oversized equipment. Now it's investing more than $100 million in a facility at the port. It is expected to create nearly 500 jobs and boost the local economy. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We'll keep a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of your Wednesday with high temperatures making it into the low to mid 80s. Really low end chance for a sprinkle later on this afternoon, but we'll have a better chance for showers and storms overnight tonight and into your Thursday morning. Low end risk for severe weather, so make sure you're staying weather aware. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Mud Connection presents the Hog Wild pregame show with David Basil and Trey Schapp before each Arkansas Razorback football game 4 hours before kickoff. Hog Wild pregame is brought to you in part by Bud Light, Neutral Vodka Seltzer, and the Holiday Inn Express and Suites off Weddington and Fayetteville.
Join 103.7 The Buzz and the Arkansas Food Bank Halloween night at Flyway Brewing to scare away hunger. The party starts at 6 and admission is free. Wear your best costume to compete in the costume contest for great prizes. It's Halloween night at Flyway Brewing with the Arkansas Food Bank and 103.7 The Buzz.
This month at Gwatney Chevrolet, you could be eligible to make no payments for 90 days. That's right, qualified buyers don't pay on new purchases at Gwatney Chevrolet until 2025. If you're in the market for a new Chevy car, truck, or SUV, now is the perfect time to buy. It could be yours with no payments until next year. Want to find out if you qualify? Give Gwatney Chevrolet a call at 501-982-2102 or come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
The colder temperatures are starting to come back, and what's that mean? Well, if you've got achy joints, everything's going to start to hurt again. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. Are you tired of knee pain, back pain, hip pain, all because of arthritis? Well, what if I told you there was a fix? What if I told you you could use your own body's healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain? QC Kinetics can get you there. The protocols developed by QC Kinetics are life-changing that so many people around Central Arkansas are making that free consultation call to find out more about how they can live pain-free. Yes, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up the phone and call 501-222-8440. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. The consultation is absolutely free, so what are you waiting on? Call 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-833-0733. 800-833-0733. 800-833-0733.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Clint Conk joins the Zone each week on 103.7 The Buzz. Brought to you by Farm Brothers Flying Service, providing crop dusting services to farmers in Southeast Arkansas. Call 870-263-1300.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wess Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. What's trending in sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Last night and tonight will be one of the few times I ever root for the New York Yankees. Makes my life a little easier. Don't have a 6:30 show tonight because the Yankees won, and we have another World Series game. And we get to tape our 9 o'clock news because who knows when the baseball game's going to be over, and they don't want to keep people up there till, 11:30, 12, whatever. So I like it. Thank you, Yankees. I get another nice night tonight. And I hope you do it again on tonight. Make Friday a little easier.
That would be good. Extend the series. That's what TV would love that.
Ratings. Heck yeah. Let's go, Yankees. At least one more win.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Cranks a ball. Deep left field. Volpe with redemption. Wells turns on the ball. Sends it a mile. It's gone. Well, we said Judge has been getting close. One more opportunity to light the crowd up. Judge hits a line drive to left field, and that's in for a hit. Soto and Judge both get on the board here in the 8th. It's 11 runs for the Yanks.
Volpe, your hero, with the grand slam. Place blew up. It wasn't looking good because they were trailing, Once again, you get Freddie Freeman with a laser shot, and they're trailing. They chip away, and then the grand slam gives them the 5-2 lead.
Yeah, and they had already missed out on opportunities, leaving runners in scoring position, which they've done the entire series. So it looked like a repeat of what had been going on the previous 3 games. So that grand slam, it definitely gave them new hope there because they have been struggling to bring runs in.
Anthony, you weren't born yet. The last time a Yankee hit a grand slam in a World Series game, what were you trying to do in the 3rd?
Just barrel it up. Just put the ball in play and put it in play hard. So it's just happened.
Did you know it off the bat?
I had a feeling, but you never know with these cold October nights. Yeah.
How about that ground ball to second in the 8th? What did you see from your vantage point? Did you think you could score easily?
I was on contact, yeah. So, all the credit goes to Doogie. What an incredible at-bat. Just putting the ball in play, and we're going to try and take advantage.
Look around. Your parents used to take you here when you were young to watch the Yankee greats. To have everyone here chanting Volpe, Volpe. You're smiling. What's that like?
It's incredible, but we want them to chant World Series champs, so that's what's more important.
Got to keep doing it to be the World Series champs. Let's get a call from John Sterling.
Glaber. A fly ball to deep right. Betts going back. That ball is gone! He hits a 3-run home run to blow this game apart. And like a good Glaber, Torres
is there. He always puts something on it like that.
Did you notice he didn't get too excited? He made sure the ball was gone before he got excited?
No, he needs to.
He learned from his mistake. Freddie Freeman got the Dodgers off. Man, his home run last night, it looked like a line drive off the bat. A line drive to, right field. It was a line drive out of the park. The power that he has, how hard he's hitting the ball right now.
He's hit a home run in every game, and all 4 games. And even dating back to the last time he played in the World Series, he has a 6-game home run hitting streak.
Obviously felt good after that first inning. I'll look back on it after, hopefully when we get this thing done tomorrow. But pretty cool, obviously. Hopefully I can keep it going tomorrow. I think we're going to be okay. This team knows what we got to do tomorrow. We know if we're going to come out and we're going to keep those bats down very long. So they came out swinging, and we'll try and do the same thing tomorrow. I'm not surprised. They're in the World Series. They're they're one of the best teams in this game. So we knew what we were going to be tasked with tonight. They had their bats going today, so hopefully Jack calms them down and we score more runs than them. We know what's at stake. We had a chance to win the World Series tonight. I think we're all pretty urgent and want to do that as fast as we can, so we'll be doing the same thing tomorrow.
little NBA action for you. Warriors taking on the Pelicans.
Green, outside, Hield, and a three. That's how they have to score. Difference of 9 seconds. Game clock, shot clock. Alvarado will Pierce. In the corner of 3. Hawkins, no. Rebound saved by Green. White to Anderson. Final seconds of the third. Corner. Hield, 3. Goal! Golden State 40-28 over the Pelicans. Here's a 3 by Hield. Buddy Hield looking at Reggie Miller. Hield 3. Why not? Why not? 19-point fourth quarter. Buddy Hield, 19 fourth quarter points. He is 6 of 6. Moses Moody with 5 threes tonight. 17 points on the evening. Golden State with 22 threes. 47 tries. And a win for Steve Kerr.
Got good performances from Buddy Hield and Moses Moody. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins were out of last night's games, and that's what they brought Buddy Hield in for. They knew that they were going to be missing something with Klay Thompson, but Buddy Hield, he can shoot the three just as good.
Yeah, it's supposed to go, Joe. We couldn't get any Moses Moody highlights. Then he threw one there at the end. Moses Moody, 6 of 8 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the three-point line. He had 17 points in 17 minutes. It's a pretty good ratio, point per minute, and just like Buddy Hield, 28 minutes, 28 points.
And that's why they felt good about Moses Moody, and they re-signed him. They signed him to that big contract, and we see him taking advantage of it.
Buddy Hield, like they said, 7 of 11 from the three-point line. He got a little help at half.
Already told me that a guy named Reggie Miller may have had a conversation with you at the half. He won't tell us what he said, but will you tell us?
Tell me to shoot the blanket ball. Sometimes to me, somebody like that comes to you, and I responded well. Like I said, thank God. All the glory to him.
Did you see what Kyrie did last night for the Mavs?
Kyrie, you would expect that with him, though. He always is going to show up. And Luka, he always seems to hit those darts at the end of the game when it looks like it's kind of hanging in the balance, and he'll put it away.
He was 0 of 7 from the three-point line until that shot.
Luka was?
Yeah.
But he steps up big in big moments.
And I mean, that says a little something. He hadn't made a three all night and shoots one from the logo for the dagger.
Oh, he's going to keep shooting it. He's not going to lose confidence.
Yeah, Kyrie was 13 of 23, 6 of 8 from the three-point line. He had 35 points. Daniel Gafford didn't miss last night. Gafford was 6 for 6, 14 points, had 4 rebounds, and the Mavericks go to Minnesota, knock off the T-Wolves 120-114. We'll get to college football here in a minute. Let's go to 49er John. What's up, man? Thanks for holding.
What's up, fellas? Oh, no problem. Hey, it's sad what happened in Greenwood, man.
Terrible.
Prayers go out to their family, and see, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I call and I counter my directions towards sports. I've had a whole lot of death in my life. Both parents, both sets of grandparents, uncles, my own child. So this is my getaway. Listening to sports, talking about my Niners. It's my getaway from this cruel world that's been dealt to me. But I have to keep living, So, I mean, never know someone's testimony before you actually judge them. So, I don't know what to say. That family, I've been there, but hopefully that child, whoever it is, they survive. God gonna have their hands around over them, camped over them. That person is going to be truly blessed as they get older. I believe in that. And so, and then on to, I guess, this normal world, baseball. I don't think people would be talking about baseball if that incident hadn't happened. Baseball needed something. Baseball is dying as we speak. Major League Baseball, guys.
It's the World Series. World Series is going to be talked about.
Yeah, we would have talked about it, but just because the Yankees extended the series and that's what makes it relevant.
You have the two best teams, the two biggest names, Judge and the other guy from the Dodgers.
Ohtani.
But you ask the average child who was influenced like I was when baseball was around, None of these kids care about baseball. They care about the little baseball team that they're on. But, Razorbacks, but no Major League Baseball. I stand on that one. And then shout out to Woody. Appreciate you for honoring your bet. You were supposed to do that yesterday. Thank you, Woody, though. You owe me money, too, Wes. You wasn't the only one. Woody owed me money, too. And my upset pick of the week, I take South Carolina.
A&M?
Not if you want to. Yeah, I got South Carolina over A&M.
Yeah.
Well, I say this. I say they're going to cover that spread.
Yeah.
2.5,
Go
3.
ahead and change that up.
You know what?
No,
I agree with you. I was looking at it earlier this week, and I saw that, and I was like, I kind of like South Carolina in this one. I think everything that A&M's gone through, emotional game last week.
Yeah, very emotional.
Going out on the road, and South Carolina can be a difficult place to play. So, yeah, I like that one too.
And like I said, I'm gonna repeat this again for you, Ro. Devontae Adams quit on the Raiders. You can say he gave up on them, but you shouldn't know anything about the Raiders because you flip-flopped. You quit on your Raiders and went to Baltimore. So who are you to talk about the Raiders? That's not your team anymore. You don't have any inside information. Stick to one team, Ro. You can't give no advice and know all this, and you flopping teams. You Raiders to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Hey, have a good day.
Thank you, 49er John. Bet Saracen has South Carolina getting 2.5 points at home. I mean, yeah, I guess it could be a 1-point game, and the 2.5 save you. I like the money line. Take South Carolina outright. South Carolina is just so back and forth. You're almost betting and hoping you get the good South Carolina. If you get the good South Carolina this week, yeah, I think they cover and have a really good chance to win. But if it's that bad South Carolina, I think A&M, even if they're not on top of their game, could win that game. Was it? I want to say it was a little higher. The spread was higher earlier in the week. I was thinking it was like 4.5.
South Carolina plays everybody tough, though, so they're always in a game where you're not just going to show up and beat them. They're going to maximize and have a chance to win, and so teams that go in there, they have to be on top of their game to come away with a win.
You know what scares me? While 49er John was talking, I was thinking back about South Carolina. Well, the A&M, the strength of their defense is their defensive line, similar to Ole Miss. Look at what Ole Miss did to South Carolina. They beat them 27-3 there in Gainesville. A&M's defensive line's good. I think they'll be able to shut down Sellers and Rocket. So I don't know if I like it now.
Especially not since he got on it.
Because 49er John took it.
Yeah, but
scared me off.
Yeah, they played LSU tough, Alabama.
They should have beat LSU.
Either one of those games were winnable games.
Yeah, the Alabama
game. They lost to LSU by 3, Bama by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they got an onside kick to try to get in position to kick a game-winning field goal.
Were they off last week?
They played – yes, they were off last week.
Oh.
They had a bye.
Coming off the bye, being home. All right, maybe I'm back on it now. What's up, Rick?
Hey, this is Rick from East Arkansas.
That's what I just said.
What's up, Rick?
Hey, I'm so glad I came after 49er John after yeah. So my followers last week from East Arkansas said 49er John dissed me. Now my followers from Central Arkansas, since I was the principal there for so long at Bryant, they said I got disrespected.
Uh-oh.
And so that's two different words.
Yeah, it's the same though. It's really the same, Rick.
Yeah, I had a good laugh, but here's the same thing. See, so yeah, I had a little fish cookout last week when I called in, and I had a few little beers, but I ain't had nothing today. Yeah, I have flathead.
It's only 3:20.
Hey, Rick, just call him out. It's time for him to go ahead and make good on that bet.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I tell you what I want to do, and I keep my word constantly. Yeah. I'm taking top 6 or 7 playoff teams against him.
Just take the field.
Then,
let's just make this easy, and let me do this. You got the field. He's got the 49ers. If the 49ers win the Super Bowl, I think it's 6. I'm going to talk here. I think that we agreed on 6-1 was the odds. So if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, Rick, you owe him $600. If it's the field, anybody else, it's $100 to you. Sound good?
Yes. And that was $100 bet.
Yep, $100 to $600.
Now here's the second thing. Before I get off here, because I know y'all have time with me. No matter what, one of my goals in life is to meet Joe Klein.
Come to Corky's. Come to Corky's, West Little Rock. Odds are he's going to be there working, and you can meet him right there in Corky's.
And I'm going to order Corky's and pay for it after the Super Bowl is done. Just to let 49er Joe, I'm for real.
John.
Yeah,
so, Rick, you're saying win or lose, it's going to be Corky's on you.
Oh, yeah, because one of my goals in my life was to meet Joe Klein.
That sounds good.
All right.
Now, I rated Corky's for it, but I never ran into it when I was living over there at Bryant.
All right,
and
Rick, we got to go. Have a good day.
Other NFL news, Jets, they play tomorrow night. Houston Texans, they're going to be hosting them. Their kicker, Greg Zuerlein, has struggled a bit this year, and so they've placed him on IR, and they signed 2 kickers to practice squad, Riley Patterson and Spencer Schrader. And between the 2 of those, they're going to elevate one to a 53-man roster, and that will be their kicker for tomorrow night.
I don't know how I feel about the game tomorrow night. With Diggs out, Nico out.
Well, Nico's been out, so they've been playing without him for a few weeks now.
Just saying they don't have a number 1 receiver.
Tank Dell, John Mechie, he's actually playing now. He's been fighting for playing time. They actually have him in the lineup, so they still have some really good receivers. And C.J. Stroud is that type of quarterback that guys get open, he's going to get them the ball.
You know, here's the good thing. Mixon's been running the ball so well, and the Jets' run defense hasn't been that great at all. Okay, I feel better about the Texans. I'm going with the Texans. From 870, Anthony Richardson isn't an NFL quarterback. He's worse than Bryce Young. Got to have a brain to be a quarterback, by the way. Just give him time. I wouldn't say he doesn't have a brain, but I think second year. It's his second year. He was a rookie last year.
And he missed most of the rookie season.
Just don't give up on him yet. Stat of the week, 11 runs were the Yankees' most in the World Series game since 1978, Game 5, when they scored 12. They played 48 World Series games in between. Only 10 Major League Baseball franchises have ever played 48 World Series games total. It was also the second most runs in a game facing elimination in Yankees postseason history. They scored 12 in Game 6 in 1960. That's Stat in Conway with his Stat of the Week. 501 says Colts quarterback has been there 2 to 3 years. He's been hurt, tired, everything but what he was drafted for. Seems like he's getting paid for nothing. Taylor in Cabot says Kevin Harlan is so good on the call. Do not like Kevin Harlan. He is not one of my guys.
He is good, though.
He has some good call, like game-winning calls, big calls, fourth quarter calls. He's good. It irritates me in the first quarter when a guy runs a sweep for 3 yards and he makes it sound like it's a 50-yard play, how excited he gets over nothing. I'm like, tone it down. Save that for when it's something really good and big. You can't do that the whole game, Kevin.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he's known for.
I don't like that.
And then John Sterling, on the other hand, he needs to wait to make the call. So got to have some balance there.
Yeah. I'm not reading those. Y'all are so mean. Rick is okay. Thank you for being patient with our Pawpaw Rick. You're welcome. Rick is fine. I'm pretty patient with all of our callers. Sometimes I lose it with Jacqueline and have to let her go. But we let Rick go so we could go. We got Kyle Sutherland coming up next. We're going to talk a little high school football. There are some big games this weekend, and it starts Thursday night. We were just talking about that. Parkview and Lakeside at War Memorial Stadium. Got two good games at War Memorial Stadium. Marion and Catholic could decide who the number 2 seed is. If Benton goes to Marion and wins in the week 10, then this would decide the 2-3. Just a couple of the good ones. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. We'll ask Kyle about that when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
The Zone Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razorback Pizza with 2 locations, Highway 10 past Taylor Loop and just off the Morgan Maumelle exit.
This is Sports Center.
In the World Series last night, the Yankees forced a Game 5 by winning 11-4. The game started with yet another Freddie Freeman home run, which put the Dodgers up 2. He has a home run in all 4 World Series games so far. He also now holds the record for the most consecutive games with a home run in the World Series at 6 in a row. The Yankees came back and took the lead in the 4th inning after a grand slam by Anthony Volpe. It was 6-4 Yankees entering the 8th, and then New York piled it on, scoring 5 runs in the inning. Game 5 is tonight at 7:08. TV coverage is on Fox. Radio coverage can be heard on The Buzz, joining progress at 8:30. Prior to that on The Buzz, Sam Pittman Live will start at 7 o'clock, and then Oakland Game Day will be at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny Wess from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
Hello, Buzz listeners. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Sherwood with the deal of the week. New Jeep Gladiator Willys. I have one available on the showroom floor, $13,000 off. First come, first serve. It's the end of the month, so we're giving you the biggest discounts and no payments till next year. Get 0% financing on every 2024 model Jeep. New Rams up to $11,000 off. New Jeep Wranglers up to $6,000 off. New Jeep Grand Cherokee 4-wheel drives up to $9,000 off. Folks, it's the end of the month and we're making crazy deals. Every pre-owned vehicle has been marked down to the end of the month, and Fletcher Dodge gives you a free warranty on every pre-owned vehicle. And if you've had credit problems in the past, come see us. We can help. If other dealers have told you no, go to FletcherCredit.com and get pre-approved. It's that easy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
I'm here with Laura Beth from Kaufman by Design West. Kaufman has over 7,000 square feet of beautiful new home decor pieces and design specialists on staff. See, that would be important for somebody like me who is design challenged.
Yeah, we have design specialists on staff and everything you need, from lighting to flooring, designer hardware, and more.
And gift cards are available too. Check them out now. Kaufman by Design West, out west past Taylor Loop, 14900 Cantrell Road.
Or visit us online at kaufmanlumber.com.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch, so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room-with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. We're going to go straight to the hotline, bring in Kyle Sutherland. What's up, Kyle? How are you?
Well, guys, I've been better. I think, there's a lot of people probably heard by now, the terrible news out of Greenwood, but just, trying to do my daily duties as I know to do them, and while also just thinking about, all the people that lost a friend, a brother, a teammate, so many different things, and really just puts life into perspective.
What kind of numbers were Isaiah Arrington putting up this year?
I haven't even looked at it yet, but I know that he was one of the top, along with Champ Davis. I don't know his exact numbers. I can probably look that up here in just a second, but right there with Champ Davis, he was pretty much one of the top targets for Kane Archer, and one of the things about Isaiah was, I've talked about this a lot with people today, in the transfer, quote-unquote, transfer portal world that we live in. He stayed the course at Greenwood, and he just essentially waited his turn, even though he certainly has been good enough throughout his career to be a 3-year starter just about anywhere, just because he wanted to play for a program like that. And so he has been a guy that's been an electrifying playmaker when he's gotten the ball over the past couple of years, but he's really gotten to show his talents to, I really think, the whole state this season.
Did he always play receiver, or has he played in different places on the field?
He played a little bit of defensive back as well. He mostly was utilized at wide receiver. Wes, I posted one of the clips from the state championship game that you and Bobby called last year from when he had ran that hitch route and just basically juked out that Little Rock Christian receiver, and that's just kind of a lot of really just a nutshell, the type of plays that you saw with Ike, just with how fast he was. But most of the time you would see him line up at wide receiver, but he was known to make some plays at defensive back as well.
Yeah, I looked at his Twitter feed, and I'd seen he went camping at UCA. He had tweeted out to Harding, so it looked like he was getting some D2 looks, and, maybe UCA too. But, man, just a heck of a player. And I was just pulling up his stats on here he is, 44 catches, 661 yards, and 9 touchdowns this season.
And you think about how impressive that is with how Coach Young has talked about that they've got really their 2 and 3 deep that they could run at wide receiver because they feel like they've got about 5 or 6 guys. So putting up those kind of numbers with how much he's having to share the ball, that just makes it all the more impressive.
And playing usually one half.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so very tough.
Well, there are some other big games, and although their game's going to seem a little bit different this week, taking on Southside, that would have been kind of a rivalry game, but that game's going to have a totally different feel Friday night.
Is there any chance that they don't play the game?
I haven't heard anything as of now, and I wouldn't imagine that we will until Friday. But Joe, I can't imagine them not taking the field because I just think about, and I didn't know, other than a few Twitter messages that we exchanged over the past couple of years, I didn't really know. I never met, of course, covered. I think I called about 5 of his games over the last few years, but I would think that they're probably just all going to come together and play, of course, in his honor, not just this game for the rest of the season. But I would imagine that they do play. I would have a hard time thinking that they don't.
Let's take a look at some of the big games Friday night. And, of course, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, is Rising and Fordyce for a conference title, a first number 1 seed, and it's just a huge rivalry game.
Yeah, absolutely. The oldest rivalry, and I think this is the 73rd or 74th meeting. And you had a feeling that Fordyce, I know, Wes, that they've kind of taken a step back compared to their state championship runs that they had a couple of years ago since they moved to 3A being Fordyce. But you had a feeling that they had a chance to make a comeback this year. And I'm not really shocked that they're in this position right now, but I'm a little bit shocked about Rising. I didn't think Rising was going to be bad or anything like that, but I certainly didn't expect them to be 8-0. And I was talking to Chris Vereen, the first-year coach, yesterday, and he just said these kids just really bought in from the time that he came there, and they're just playing really fundamental football. They might not have a lot of the star power like Fordyce has, but they've just, again, really bought into what Coach Vereen has been teaching, and they're just playing really clean football, and that's a big reason why they've gotten to this point.
Another rivalry game, a couple of teams taking on each other, Bentonville and Springdale.
Yeah, and really Bentonville's the hottest team right now, and it's certainly in the 7A West. Really, they look like a clear-cut favorite if you think about it since since conference play has started. Now, Springdale, they have come back down a little to earth in the last couple of weeks. It is worth noting Jack Pounders, their quarterback, is a massive part of what they do. He hasn't played in the past 2 games, so I haven't heard his status for this one. You got to imagine that it's probably going to be Bentonville pretty heavily, especially if he is not to play. But, guys, right now I don't really know if it matters. And, of course, we'll talk more about 7A Central versus 7A West once we get to the postseason. But right now it's really hard for me to imagine anybody in the West lining up against Bentonville and beating them with just how consistent they've been across the board since conference play's begun.
Is that including Fayetteville also?
That's you look at what they did to Fayetteville. And Fayetteville, they're a very good team, but they played last week against Springdale. They won, but they won sloppily. They just haven't really shown consistency, and they played a really tough schedule. It's worth noting that. But with what Bentonville did to Fayetteville, I think that you certainly got to look at that. Really, they're just the very, and of course what they did to Rogers last week. They're just a heavy favorite out of that conference.
I was just telling everybody Thursday and Friday night's going to be fun at War Memorial Stadium. You got Lakeside and Parkview Thursday. Friday it's Marion and Catholic, and depending on what happens between Benton and Marion in Week 10, this game could decide who's the 2, who's the 3 seed.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's kind of been the overwhelming consensus of the people that I've talked to, was just nobody's really shocked that Benton beat Catholic, but nobody expected them to beat them 42-0, or very few did. So now you've got Marion, like you said, that I think really outside of Northeast Arkansas, everybody seems to think that Benton is just the runaway favorite for the 6A East. And while I don't particularly disagree with that, Marion is still very much in the conversation. So long as they beat Cabot, they welcome Benton. I think actually that game is in Marion. So Benton comes to Marion Week 10, and that's very likely going to be for the conference championship. We'll see how Catholic responds to that. But the Benton offensive machine, that's what we've seen really the past few years, especially since Drew Davis has taken over at quarterback, and they'll lose the Salt Bowl, and then they'll just roll on into the playoffs and make deep runs, and I think they're certainly due for that.
How about Conway Little Rock Christian?
So this is an interesting one because you've got Conway that played a great game, an incredible defensive performance, held PA to under 300 yards of total offense. Wesley Tapp filled in nicely. Trey, the running back, Trey Harris. Trey Harris. Yeah, Trey Harris had 3 touchdowns. And so you got to look at it, like they had a complete performance there, but they've got that huge one with Bryant next week. So if I'm Little Rock Christian, I'm thinking, okay, I've won 3 consecutive games. Now, granted, it was the teams that are, towards the bottom of the conference. But can they get Conway on there? Because Conway hasn't really had an off night. Now, Buck James will tell you differently, but they have not really had an off night. And that conference is, again, like we expected, Bryant and Conway at the top. But Little Rock Christian, if there's any week to get Conway, it is right now. Now, if this were in, the middle of the season, I would say Conway by a long shot. But this is definitely where Little Rock Christian wants Conway right before they play Bryant.
We have Kyle Sutherland with us. Kyle, yesterday we had Morrilton's head coach, Cody McNabb, with us, and he was talking about their outstanding performance from their quarterback and their offense, and unfortunately they lost to Farmington. He's like, hey, we got to move on. We have a huge game against Valonia Friday night, and I got to think this is for the 2 seed and a home playoff game between Morrilton and Valonia.
Yeah, that's right. We've had really the last couple of weeks that I've been on, we've talked, maybe the last 3, we've talked about a big game or 2 out of the 5A West, and it's kind of really look at the top of that conference, and there's from between Glenn Ashcraft at Valonia and Cody McNabb, as you mentioned, from Morrilton, and then also too, of course, Tom Tyson Farmington. I mean, the coach of the year out of 5A could very well come out of that conference. And Morrilton, like you said, they put up the school records, and I know Maddox Berry put up some in a losing effort. But, yeah, that's the thing is it's an emotional loss, but don't let it beat you twice type deal. Kind of like if you're Farmington, don't let an emotional win get the best of you the next week. And so, yeah, Morrilton, I think they'd probably prefer to lose in the regular season. Yes, you want to get that undefeated streak and take, the undisputed conference championship into the postseason. But sometimes, especially when you might not used to being in this position, it's better off to just get one of those losses out of the way before you get into the postseason and it's win or go home.
Anything stand out as far as teams that can get a statement win this week and really help themselves?
Well, look no further than Thursday night, Hot Springs Lakeside. They've been impressive really the last 2 years, and they've got a great opportunity to not just upset the back-to-back 5A state champions, but take that number 1 seed out of a brutal 5A South. So I think that especially it's going to be wet on the field. Both teams probably going to be really heavily running the football. You certainly know Parkview is going to go do that. That's just what they do. But I think one thing that's probably overlooked is Lakeside's defense. Now, they played Magnolia, which is a pretty tough opponent, but other than that, they've played some of the teams towards the bottom of the conference. But in conference play, they've only allowed, or I guess they played Fairview as well. In conference play, they've only allowed more than 7 points once. So really hats off to Jacob Reynolds and that defense there. Of course, Lakeside offensively with Grady Oman and those guys, they're rolling. But I'm not predicting anything, but I think this could be very, very close, and it wouldn't shock me if Lakeside possibly pulls it out.
One of the games that we're going to for Fearless Friday is Maumelle at Searcy. I think I know Maumelle still has a chance with back-to-back wins to win the 5A Central, but if Joe T beats Maumelle, this could be for second place in the 5A Central.
Yeah, Maumelle has made an incredible rebound. They were 2-2. Now they've won their last 4, and as you said, that's what Coach Moffitt and I actually, since we were off at the Buzz last week, I covered this one for the Democrat Gazette, the game with Whitehall, and Coach Moffitt's been preaching to his guys. We've got 3 consecutive conference championship games, and they passed the first test. They've got a really tough Searcy team that definitely took one on the chin last week, and you know that they're not going to have any shortage of motivation once they get to, especially if the conference title's on the line. They've already got plenty of storylines with that one being Coach Moffitt's alma mater and so many different things. So, yeah, Maumelle, you got to give them the credit. You knew that they had the talent coming in to make this kind of run. It was really a question of how they were going to respond, particularly after they got shut out by BB. But they've got a chance really over the next 2 weeks here to make a statement if they want to.
With 7A and the 7A Central specifically, you got the top 4 teams playing the bottom 4 teams as it appears right now. You expect any surprises?
No, probably not. I mean, with the 7A Central, it's obviously a lot deeper, as I'd say, because I think that Bentonville is definitely the clear-cut favorite out of the West right now. But really, once you get past those top 3 or so, and I say top 3 in the Central because you look at Bryant, you look at Conway, and I know PA took one on the chin, but you can certainly put them in that category. But Little Rock Christian, though, sitting in that 3rd place, this is really their time to play. And I think that this one could maybe be close for a little bit, but with Conway. But kind of the long-winded answer, I just don't see there being any upsets or anything like that this week.
Sylvan Hills goes to Sheridan, and a playoff spot is on the line. And talked to Coach Kelly before he left the show this morning, and he likes the way his guys are playing, but he says Sylvan Hills has got a lot of speed, and that concerns him a little bit.
Sylvan Hills has got a lot of speed. I think that really right now they've got a lot of speed, and they've really got a few players in particular. You know, you look at especially Josiah Rainey. He's the one, the first one that really pops off the sheet, and there's a couple of others that are college prospects. But I think really right now Sylvan Hills, they're lacking that confidence to finish. They're still making some mistakes. And it's really just about with them is can they put a complete 4 quarters together and really maybe take advantage of another team's mistakes or really just play a complete game for them. And I think that's really what is it now, an 18-game losing streak. So they've got that ability. But then again, Sheridan is really they seem like they're playing, especially since that Catholic game, they seem like they're playing a little bit better. So I think that probably the losing streak does continue, and Coach Kelly will get a win, and I think the Yellow Jackets are going to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, sure. That'll get them in. If they win this one, that'll give them 2 conference wins, and still got El Dorado in the last week, so they would have a chance to do it. Real quick before we go, Patrick's got a question for you. Patrick, what's up? Welcome into Out of Bounds.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
I wanted to ask about Bismarck. You know, they beat Prescott, they beat Mansfield. They got Center Point this Friday, and then Horatio. What do you think about Bismarck? I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks, Patrick.
I thought coming in that they could certainly be, they were a perfect team as maybe that dark horse coming out of Class 3A, especially with what they had coming back from a great season last year. And then with what they did the other night, finally getting over that 18-game hump, I think it was 18 straight that they had lost to Prescott, and also not having their all-state quarterback. Wes, that's what's really, I think, the key for me is that they were able to overcome this without their all-state leader. And, coincidentally, Ben Keithley's brother was the one that scored the winning touchdown. But Bismarck, I think, is a definite legit contender, and that's why they're pretty much ranked by everybody as the number 1 or number 2 team in the state this week.
It was a very impressive win. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Very impressive. Kyle, thanks, man. It was good to catch up with you, and we will talk to you next week.
Guys, sounds good. We'll talk to you later. Take care.
Kyle Sutherland with us on Out of Bounds. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up when we come back. We can take a phone call. We'll have time. I'll hit the D3 Auto Sales text line. We'll wrap that up. Take a look at the True Service Community Federal Credit Union, live fan feedback, see if there were something over there. Maybe. All right, we'll get ready to go. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, I bet I can get you to say, yes, just like that. I'll prove it. Right now at Genesis of Conway, which can provide you with a car ownership experience you never knew existed, that Genesis of Conway can get you into a 2025 Genesis GV70 at 2.9% interest for 60 months. Say it with me. Yes! I knew you'd do that. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today.
Who's against Issue 2? Politicians, lobbyists, and powerful out-of-state gambling interests. Why? Because they don't want local voters to have a say. So they'll say anything and do anything to take away your vote. First, they filed frivolous lawsuits to try to stop your vote on Issue 2 from even being counted. Why? Because Issue 2 takes power away from them and gives it to you. And now they're lying about Issue 2. They're trying to trick you into voting against yourself. Here are the facts. Issue 2 doesn't affect jobs, revenues, or existing casinos. It simply stops new casinos from being forced into local communities that don't want them. With Issue 2, local voters have the final say. Not politicians, not lobbyists. You. Put local voters in charge. Vote for you by voting for Issue 2. Paid for by local voters in charge.
The colder temperatures are starting to come back, and what's that mean? Well, if you've got achy joints, everything's going to start to hurt again. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. Are you tired of knee pain, back pain, hip pain, all because of arthritis? Well, what if I told you there was a fix? What if I told you you could use your own body's healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain? QC Kinetics can get you there. The protocols developed by QC Kinetics are life-changing that so many people around Central Arkansas are making that free consultation call to find out more about how they can live pain-free. Yes, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up the phone and call 501-222-8440. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. The consultation is absolutely free, so what are you waiting on? Call 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
Touchdown, Edwards Food Giant. While you may never actually hear it in a football game, we all know who the real MVP of your watch party is this fall, and that's Edwards Food Giant. Your choice of chicken, brisket, ribs, smoked sausage, and pulled pork, all straight from their own smokehouse, as well as an ultimate lineup of side items from the deli. And at their newest store in North Little Rock, Edwards now has dry-aged beef, where whole cuts of certified Angus beef are aged for 28 days in a temperature-controlled cooler. So let your watch party be the envy of the neighborhood with the help of Edwards Food Giant, the meat people.
Ethan Bates, Conference USA Player of the Year here for HJ Trailer Sales. It's finally fall, my favorite time of the year. Well, okay, except for maybe baseball season. When I need a dependable trailer to get in and out of the woods, there's no better place than at HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs. From sales to repairs, HJ Trailer Sales keeps me ready all hunting season long. Being from Hot Springs, it doesn't hurt that they're my hometown trailer store. Family owned and operated. Go to hjtrailersales.com or on Facebook.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Welcome back inside the Gwatney Chevrolet studios. Some great things happening today and tomorrow at Gwatney Chevrolet. It is the end of the month. We talked to James Miller yesterday, and he told us they are desperate to sell some cars today and tomorrow. Take advantage. He said, come take advantage of me. Go ahead. Head on out to the James Street exit in Jacksonville. That's how desperate they are to make some deals right now. 0% financing on the Silverados. If you don't want to finance through GM, you can get $13,000 off, $8,000 off Suburbans and Tahoes. And they've got a lot of great quality used vehicles right now that they're trying to unload. Said some of them for around $10,000 or less than $10,000. Get your payments under $200 a month. It's happening today and tomorrow. It's the end of October. They're blowing it out at Gwatney Chevrolet. Go see them. Go check out all the inventory, all the deals that they have at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Then head to the James Street exit in Jacksonville. See James and our friends at Gwatney Chevrolet. Wrapping it up on Out of Bounds. I'll go over to the D3 Auto Sales text line. 501 says, did Wess just say get excited for nothing? Well, then you just described morning madness. I may have said that. Raider says, Benton having Catholics plays on every defender's arm helped. Oh, Raider, are you suggesting they knew their plays? Did they scout them out and have their plays already? That's why they beat them like that? Earl says, Wes, your picks. Ugh. Oh, Texas State and Sam Houston. Both my picks, Joe lost last night. Or neither one of them covered, I should say. Texas State lost. Texas State drives down the field. I mean, it was like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, look at my Bobcats go. Get inside the 10, settle for a field goal. Get the ball back. Bam, 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 bam. I'm like, all right, this time you got to cash in. Let's go up 10-0. Settle for a field goal. Louisiana gets it. It's like 3rd and 12. Handed off to the running back up the middle, 64 yards untouched.
Whoa. And
just like that, Texas State had been dominating the game. And they trail 7-6 after one big play.
That flipped everything.
And then it really flipped when Texas State's quarterback, the reigning Sun Belt Player of the Year, left the game. And they had their backup quarterback. He didn't do bad, but he just, he's the backup for a reason. And when McLeod left the game, I knew we were in trouble. And hey, kudos to Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns get it done. They go to San Marcos and knock off the Bobcats. And now that sets up a huge game for A-State next week. They go to Louisiana. A-State's only got one conference loss. They go knock off Louisiana. They could be in the driver's seat for a Sun Belt division championship and playing for the Sun Belt championship.
Oh, that'd be nice for them.
Except for the announcers last night. They didn't do their homework, and they said basically this is the
that was for the
yeah. They're like, this is going to pretty much decide the division champions. We're like, no, there's so much more football to be played, guys. Take a look at the standings. Earl, I'm gonna redeem myself tonight. I got us a winner, Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks. I have made some midweek money on Jacksonville the last couple of weeks. Rich Rod. That offense is so much fun to watch. Their running back is a stud. He had over 200 yards rushing last week. Their quarterback can go. He had over 100 yards rushing last week. They're taking on Liberty. Now, Liberty probably has a little chip on their shoulder after losing last week to Kennesaw State. I'll tell you, there's a reason why they lost to Kennesaw State. Liberty's not as good as people. You look at their schedule, they were undefeated until last week. I'm not impressed. I think Jacksonville State beats them outright. Jacksonville State is getting 2.5 points, as our buddy Lee Sterling likes to say. The wrong team is favored. Give me Jacksonville State in the points, or if you want to be bold, go with the money line. Jacksonville State, I'm going to redeem myself tonight.
What do you think about baseball? World Series, Game 5. Game 5.
Game 5. Go Yankees.
Well, I mean,
Garrett Cole on the mound.
You have any thoughts on
no, man.
Putting a wager out there?
Yeah, no, because you gotta bet with your brain, not your heart. And my heart's telling me go Yankees. Let's have a Game 6 Friday night. Make it 2 less newscasts for me. Make it a little easier. Okay? So I'll be rooting. I got money on the Celtics tonight, even though I don't like this team. I don't like the team. He doesn't like the team.
They've been dominating.
Where do y'all stand on betting on a team you don't like or a rival?
Go where the money is.
Yeah.
And if it's a team you don't like, if they're winning, you can cash out on them.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's all about making money, right? And here's the good thing. Now, I'm guessing and I'm hoping you're betting for fun. You're not betting over your head. If you lose, the Celtics lose and you're happy, right? That's the way I look at it sometimes.
But no, you'd rather have the money in hand.
Definitely, but it's not like I'm betting a ton of money, so it's not like life making money, or life difference. What am I trying to say? Life-changing money. Life-changing money is what I'm trying to say. So there have been times like I bet on LSU and they lost and I lost my bet and I was like, okay, at least LSU lost. But it's better when you bet on the team you don't like to lose and they lose. It's double whammy, right? It's double the pleasure. But no, it's smart. Go ahead and bet on them. There's the music. It's a good day today. Like I said, Lee Sterling will join us tomorrow. He's got some games he wants to look at, including Arkansas, Missouri. No, Arkansas, Ole Miss. He nailed it last week with Arkansas. He had them covering against Mississippi State.
Georgia, Florida.
Ooh.
That's another one.
Yeah.
The big one this week, Ohio State, Penn State.
How's Penn State's quarterback?
They're still trying to see if he's going to be able to play.
Also coming up, Richard Davenport will join us with a recruiting update. And Pat Bradley is supposed to join us tomorrow at 2:30 so we can talk Arkansas, Kansas with him and look ahead to TCU. Stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.